is a special presentation of HBO Sports, the network of champions.
In the early 1980s, the welterweight division fostered the careers of three glamour stars, champions who fought some of the most memorable battles of their time. First, Sugar Ray Leonard met Roberto Duran. Then, Leonard fought Thomas Hearns for the first time. Later, Hearns would meet Duran. In 1999, once again, it's the welterweight's turn in the boxing spotlight. Last Saturday, Oscar De La Hoya decisioned Ike Quartey in a memorable battle.
Oscar starts off with a stiff jab. And down goes Quartey. Oh, classic De La Hoya left hook. As the Ghanaian star hurt enough to contemplate finishing it. Down goes De La Hoya on a left-hand counter by Quartey. Quartey holding on. Remember Leonard Hearns? Remember Tommy Hearns leading in the fight? Breaks across the ropes in the 14th round. Mitch Alford looking on.
Tonight, welterweights Felix Trinidad and Pernell Whitaker face off in another title fight. Trinidad is an undefeated champion from Puerto Rico. Though he's only 26 years old, he's held the title for 5 years. Pernell Whitaker may no longer be a title holder, but for almost all of the 90s, he was considered one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
That was a knockdown.
You got it, baby.
That could have been scored a knockdown. It is a knockdown.
But since Whitaker's last fight with Andre Pistraev, he's battled drug and alcohol problems. Tonight, we'll see whether Whitaker can make one last great stand, or whether it's the end of his era. First, a replay of the explosive De La Hoya Quartey battle. Then live, Felix Trinidad against Pernell Whitaker. Tonight, we're live from Madison Square Garden in New York City, where you'll see 147-pound champions slugging it out for 2 world titles. First, a videotape replay of last Saturday's Oscar De La Hoya-Ike Quartey battle. Then our live fight, Felix Trinidad taking on Pernell Whitaker, fighting for the first time in a year and a half. The world's most famous indoor arena undergoes a boxing renaissance of sorts. Once the boxing home to many of the great fights and fighters, Madison Square Garden is now the home of this meaningful welterweight fight. And next month's Evander Holyfield-Lennox Lewis heavyweight unification bout, one of the biggest heavyweight fights in the sport in many years. And hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Lampley, welcoming you to this extra special edition of HBO's World Championship Boxing. As we've told you, first, a videotape look back at the pitched battle in Las Vegas last week between Oscar De La Hoya and Ike Quartey. To all eyes, a dramatic finish. To some, a controversial decision in favor of De La Hoya. That provides the context for the live fight that follows between 2 men angling for a possible shot at De La Hoya down the road, former titleist Pernell Whitaker and welterweight champion Felix Trinidad. Now, as we get ready to go back a week ago to Las Vegas, let's turn to the man who called the fight there with us, heavyweight living legend and HBO boxing expert George Foreman. George, you told us before the fight in Las Vegas last week that Oscar De La Hoya was taking a huge risk by serving in effect as his own matchmaker and demanding a fight against a dangerous opponent, which his management and his promotion might well have done without. Having put himself on the line like that, do you think that helped to motivate Oscar through the tough periods of the fight?
Yeah, the main motivation, because once you find some adversity in the ring, you really want to blame someone in your corner. They told me wrong. I did something, but I couldn't have done it properly if they hadn't told me improperly. But when you've done it yourself, set yourself up for defeat, you got to fight yourself out of the corner. That's what Oscar did. That's what he had to do.
You'll see how it may have played into De La Hoya's motivation, particularly in the later rounds. Also working with us tonight and a week ago, HBO boxing analyst Larry Merchant. Larry, everybody in our viewing audience knows what they're about to see, a split decision win for De La Hoya. What should they be looking for in the tape replay?
Jim, whenever a champion gets a split decision in his hometown, I find myself wondering whether he really earned it. And also assuming that if the fight had been held in the other fighter's hometown, he would have got the decision. Is that what happened last week? Well, all you would-be Harold Lettermans, get out your pencil and paper and score the fight round by round and point by point. And then you decide whether Oscar De La Hoya overcame Ike Quartey's early lead with his spirited rally at the end of the fight, or whether, in a phenomenon that is really unique to boxing, Oscar De La Hoya won the fight by winning the drama of the fight, and also decide whether there should be a rematch.
The biggest matchup between unbeaten welterweights in nearly 18 years since Ray Leonard first fought Tommy Hearns. So let's go back now 7 nights, 1 week ago in the desert in Las Vegas. 6 glorious unbeaten years into his professional boxing career, American welterweight superstar Oscar De La Hoya met Ike Quartey of Ghana February 13 in what experts unanimously viewed as the toughest test of the Golden Boy's career. On a busy weekend in Las Vegas, tickets to the fight at the Thomas & Mack Center were simply impossible, as most of those with the privilege of seeing the biggest welterweight fight in nearly 2 decades had planned for months in advance to be there. Tale of the tape for Oscar De La Hoya against Ike Bazooka Quartey. A 3-year age advantage for De La Hoya, 3 inches in height. Quartey weighed in a ½ pound under the limit about 25 hours ago. Tonight, Quartey weighs 156. De La Hoya only up to 153, and a 2-inch reach advantage for the champion whose title is at stake. Punch stat numbers, Larry Merchant.
Quartey, the more aggressive, the more active fighter. De La Hoya, the more efficient fighter. If you've got a big gun, shoot it. Quartey has a big jab, and those numbers tell you he will shoot it. But De La Hoya's jab is a gun as well.
Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Oscar De La Hoya Ike Quartey fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using those rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim.
Scarcely an empty seat in the house as the Ghanaian contingent gets ready to make its appearance. An involuntary layoff of 482 days. It wasn't his plan. It just worked out that way.
It's hard to understate how big this event appears in his native land of Ghana.
At 4:30 in the morning, and Quartey is a member of the largest tribe in Ghana. It is called the Ga tribe, G-A. He speaks the Ga language.
And they are gaga over this fighter.
I wondered if you would take advantage of that.
Never miss an opportunity.
You listen to those drums. I don't have the most fondest memories of drums in my days in Africa.
Your mind is drifting back to Kinshasa, Zaire.
It's interesting you should say that because it says, I Quartey Bamaye.
Oh, no.
Here's the record for Quartey. 34 wins, no losses.
I heard the drums, and it ain't nice.
All right, enough of the Boumaye, guys. 29 knockouts among Quartey's victories, and that one draw with Jose Luis Lopez, an oddly scored fight, which was at first ruled a majority decision for Quartey, later changed to a draw. Most of us at ringside thought that Ike had won at least 8 rounds in that fight. Here comes De La Hoya. And the record for De La Hoya, his last loss was in the World Championships in 1991 to an East German fighter named Marco Rudolph. How long ago was that? The country doesn't exist anymore. 24 knockouts in 29 fights. The last one over Chavez in September here. Can you wait? We can't wait. Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Top Rank Incorporated, along with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser. This Bud's for you, in association with Main Events, present the featured bout of the evening from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of the Las Vegas Hilton Hotel Casino and the new Mandalay Bay Resort Casino. This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds or less for the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Chairman Dr. Elias Ghanem. Commissioners Glenn Carano, Lorenzo Fertitta, Dr. Luther Mack, and Dr. James Nave. Timekeeper is Al Bisick. Counting to the knockdown seconds, Mike Licella. Your physicians at ringside are Dr. Flip Homansky, Dr. James Wishgame, Dr. William Berliner, and Dr. Gino Signorino. This bout is also sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, President Jose Suleiman, supervisors at ringside, Roy Van Patten and Eduardo Lamazon. The 3 judges scoring this contest on a 10-point must system will be from Northants, England, John Keane, from Hartley, England, Larry O'Connell, and from Tokyo, Japan, Ken Morita. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Mitch Halpern. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gold and weighing in at 146.5 pounds. He comes to us tonight with a professional record unblemished by defeat. In 35 bouts, he has won 34 and has one disputed draw. 29 of those victories have come by knockout. He is a former world champion who surrendered his title for the opportunity to challenge the opponent he now faces across this ring. Ladies and gentlemen, from Accra, Ghana, Africa, here is the challenger, former WBA welterweight champion of the world, the undefeated Ike Bazooka Quartey. And in the red corner, wearing black trimmed with white and weighing 147 pounds. In 1992, he captured Olympic gold, and since he has captured 4 world titles in 4 weight divisions, with a perfect professional record consisting of 29 bouts, 29 victories with 24 knockouts. This evening, he steps into the ring to take on the most difficult challenge of his career. But he takes this step with the courage and determination that has made him a champion. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the former junior lightweight champion, former lightweight champion, former super lightweight champion from East LA, the reigning and defending undefeated WBC welterweight champion of the world, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Come on out.
Come here. This is legal, this is low. That's low, that's legal. Understand? This will be a clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, good luck.
In their great fights, Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns exceeded very high expectations. How say De La Hoya and Quartey?
If they give style points for relaxation coming into the ring, then Quartey is already the early leader. De La Hoya looks tense. Quartey looks eager. Round 1 begins with a Quartey jab and a Quartey left hook. Many believe that the first big question in the bout is what does De La Hoya do to nullify the Quartey jab? Now, George Foreman, you're in the minority who believe that it is not as heavy or effective a jab as is De La Hoya's. But as you look at Ike Quartey getting started here, talk about the bazooka jab and what it does for him.
He's got a good left jab, but he still doesn't have the jab of the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. Oscar De La Hoya has this stiff left jab, and he keeps his hands up. He'll find that jab bumping into Oscar De La Hoya's gloves and elbows a lot of the night. When Oscar decides to land 2 or 3 good jabs, it could change the whole course of this fight.
But you saw the most important punch that De La Hoya has thrown so far is trying to throw that right hand over the jab. He's always been considered a left-handed fighter.
And if Quartey's biggest weapon is his jab, De La Hoya's is his left hook to the body. He landed it twice in sequence just a moment ago.
Now you see that jab of Oscar De La Hoya goes to the side of the face, and if he matches jab after jab, he's got the reach advantage. His jab is supposed to reach target before Ike's jab.
Chopping right hand landed for Quartey, but it does look as though the early strategy for De La Hoya is to out-jab the jabber in effect.
Well, he's forcing him to jab because Oscar doesn't see any openings right now. Quartey keeps his hands up real good. But you want to make sure whenever Quartey jab, you jab along with him. Every time the left jab goes out, yours should be going out too.
Left hook to the body by De La Hoya. Quartey likes to keep his hands up in a peekaboo. Does that create an opening for De La Hoya to get to the rib cage with his left hand?
Well, I don't think Oscar should go to the body this early in the fight because he is the taller of opponents. He's dropping his head down into some dangerous territory. You want to keep your head up as long as you can. Stand and utilize that height advantage. His head is up there away from Quartey's punches.
Blood trickling from De La Hoya's nose.
And that could be the product of the stiff jab with which Quartey has been rolling up the points so far in round number 1. De La Hoya pounding to the body. Quartey blocking the left hook with his elbow. Blocks the right with his elbow there. And De La Hoya gets a right and a left through the guard. Quartey, normally a phenomenally fast starter, is forced to stand and watch as De La Hoya picks up the tempo here.
Very, very intense action.
He's allowed Oscar De La Hoya to punch him. You don't want to do that. It's not a joke if the fight continues on for a couple of rounds.
Whether correctly or incorrectly, if you believe what Quartey has said coming into the fight, he doesn't have a lot of respect for De La Hoya's power.
Un poquito, Oscar, más laterales, side to side, okay? A little bit more side to side, and you're gonna be first with a jab. Stay more busy with a jab, and keep him outside, okay? Don't let him in. Keep him outside, side to side, and stay busy with a jab.
Watch more jab, jab.
You're giving him too many chances. Okay. When you hit him, you step back. When you hit him, step back. Don't let him use his left hook. Okay, you gotta step back anytime you hit him. Okay, don't let him give him a chance.
Those of you who speak a little God don't need Fred Asico's translation in that corner, but for the rest of us, Fred is the man. Jabs in round one by CompuBox numbers. De La Hoya 10 out of 33. Quartey 9 out of 32. A standoff.
Now there's a piston-like jab from De La Hoya. His corner told him go side to side. He's standing flat-footed.
They said go side to side and stay busy with the jab.
You know something? Communication sometimes is a big problem with fighters. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You can get away with it. Sometimes Oscar is young and he's kind of rebellious. You want to tell him to do something in a real sweet fashion, so to speak.
You used to bring in Angelo Dundee, who would have nothing to do with your training camp, but who came to the fight to communicate with you in the ring.
That's right. You need communications in the ring.
The biggest CompuBox news out of round one was that Quartey, throwing only 43 punches, threw less than half his normal first-round average. Usually that's because the other guy punches hard coming back.
Both showing some respect for each other's punching ability.
Oscar's also doing a lot of waiting, and this is not what you want to do. If a guy can punch, don't wait on him to hit you. Go on and hit him. As far as him being a tough opponent, every opponent is tough. That's what you're a boxer for. You don't mind a guy being tough.
De La Hoya backing up, making Quartey reach with his jab, hoping that Quartey will overcommit with the jab, and he can counter him with right hands, as Jose Luis Lopez effectively did in the late rounds of his battle with Quartey.
And Oscar's doing an excellent job of stepping back, moving around the ring, making this guy follow you. At the same time, keeping your right hand up.
If you can make him lean forward just a tiny fraction.
That's right. Just make him get overconfident.
And there it was. The right hand over the top of Quartey's left.
Oscar want to go back into his position and don't get yourself out of position, reaching out at anything. Quartey is doing a good job of keeping this balance.
Quartey wears what amounts to a confident grin on his face throughout the action. De La Hoya with a look of determined tenacity.
He's doing a good job, but you don't want to get in a boxing match with Oscar De La Hoya. I'll tell you that. You want to go on and throw your jab, keep punching him at all times, but he's standing there watching Oscar De La Hoya. One punch comes, next thing you know, you're hit with 5 or 6.
Even Quartey's biggest supporters would agree in most cases that De La Hoya is the more flexible, more multi-talented boxer.
De La Hoya was caught with a good right hand that time.
But comes back with a left-right left of his own. Quartey getting on a left to the body as De La Hoya missed the right upstairs. Dropping right in hand inside by Quartey. Both fighters experiencing some moments in the closing seconds of round two.
Let's take a look at the jab, and as you see, De La Hoya coming over with a straight right. Never been his best punch. Threw that one perfectly without a lot of power.
Okay, you gotta feint this guy, and you gotta have more lateral movement.
The combination with which Jose Luis Lopez bedeviled Quartey in the late rounds of their fight October of '97 was counter right across the top of Quartey's jab, left hook to the body. He landed it over and over and eventually put Quartey down with a right hand.
You notice Oscar's been so effective with his left jab that Quartey is not even trying to jab as much.
In round number 2, Quartey again threw sparingly, only 46 punches. De La Hoya threw more, 62, but Quartey landed at a much higher rate.
But by the same token, George, Oscar is not throwing his left hook as much, and that's his big punch.
Well, remember, Quartey is supposed to be this great jabber, and it is just not happening. You know why? Because Oscar matches jab per jab. Then when you take a guy's biggest weapon from him, then he turns ordinary and you try to attack him with your stuff.
Yeah, but if he's taking the other guy's best weapon away, they've neutralized their best weapons and they have to show each other that they can beat each other with other stuff.
And De La Hoya starting to get to Quartey with power punches in round 3. Quartey grinning as if to say, you didn't hurt me. Usually that means I'm a little bewildered that you're hitting me the way you are.
That's what you're able to do. You jab, throw right hands, and then use your footwork to make the other guy miss you as he tries to pay you back.
And when a guy, and I'm talking about the gold-trunked Quartey here, when a guy who normally throws 80 or 85 punches around is throwing 40, does that mean his confidence has dropped?
Not at all. It's just a jab that Oscar De La Hoya has. It hurts you like a big punch. So you think before you do everything, and that stops everything. If you think...
De La Hoya with a quick left hook, partially blocked. Quartey starting to just paw with the jab. That is not the laser shot for which he's known. Counter right hand by De La Hoya as Quartey's jab slows down. Oscar getting the better of it now as we go into the last moment of round 3.
The good thing about Oscar, after every combination, he's back in position to do it again. Quartey throws a good left jab and a right hand, and he's always out of position. And his corner should tell him about being in position.
De La Hoya clearly so focused on the counter right hand that if Quartey starts to get lazy with the jab, Oscar could have a right hand festival. Now Quartey goes back to throwing the thudding jab instead of just pawing with it.
Now, you know Gil Clancy is not going to like Oscar De La Hoya laying his left hand down to his side there. And this is when you want someone like Gil Clancy out speaking, taking charge, getting control here.
But I think the plan is for only Robert Alcazar to talk to the fighter during the fight.
You know, the good thing about Gil Clancy, he can see what is going on.
Well, we'll watch to see if Clancy talks to De La Hoya. De La Hoya lands a hard counter right. Quartey comes back with a right and a left of his own.
Quartey buckled him.
Oh, this is something. This is good.
Okay, put the pressure on him. Stick to what you're doing.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Also, you have to be very careful. He doesn't hit you with his left. Okay, stick to your jabs. You're doing good.
This is obviously what De La Hoya has been working on in preparation for this fight, because we've never seen him do this as often. Throwing the right straight over the top.
And he gets back in position.
But at the end of that round, Quartey buckled De La Hoya's knees.
Ike Quartey, a man who commonly throws 80 to 85 punches around, averaging 48 attempts per round here, as he shortens up his output, to try to accommodate for De La Hoya and the firepower coming back. Harold, how'd you score the first three?
Jim, I got it 2 rounds to 1, 29-28, Oscar De La Hoya. I gave Oscar rounds 1 and 3. I think that when he opens up, he outpunches him and he hurts him. I mean, I don't know, to me, he looks like a skinny little kid, but God darn, the minute he opens up, it gets great, and he whacks him. As far as Quartey goes, the snap is not really there. De La Hoya's head never went back once from the jab. I mean, if Quartey does land the jab, Oscar usually either blocks it or it just doesn't seem to have an effect.
Oscar keeps his distance. Quartey should understand at least touch his toe or something before you jab. Don't just throw your jab out there. You got to have something that you see. Otherwise, your jab will fall on his right hand all night.
So do you think that so far, De La Hoya is winning the tactical battle, the mind game between the two fighters?
Well, he's keeping his distance. You know, when you're an inch taller, use that inch. And that's what he's done so far. Quartey is standing back. He's not moving his head. Shakes his fist before he does something. You want to be the champion of the world, you're going to have to get out there and mix it up and take it from him.
But as De La Hoya flattens out, spreads his feet, and goes for more power on his connected punches, he brings himself down into Quartey's range.
Yeah, because he wants to spring up with his hook. He understands that he gets power with springing with that hook.
Tactical round 4. They trade jabs. De La Hoya looking to find a way to shorten the distance between himself and Quartey, while at the same time nullifying Quartey's jab by staying away when the Ghanaian star wants to throw.
Now, whenever Oscar decides to stop doing anything, Quartey starts with his jab again. So Oscar's got, when he's not moving around, do something.
De La Hoya landing a little right as Quartey awkwardly stepped to the side.
Now Oscar does something different. He stoops down and jabs upwardly to the shorter opponent. You notice when Oscar misses a jab or right hand, he gets right back into position. He doesn't try to follow the guy. Quartey is moving around, hasn't decided what kind of footwork he wants. Hasn't established any kind of tactics with his feet.
And as round 4 comes to a close, the two fighters are getting better and better looks at one another because they are throwing fewer and fewer punches as time goes by.
It's respect. Both have a lot of respect for each other. Both have it.
Okay, you got to keep thinking more and more. He only has the right hand. That's the only punch he's got. You got to watch out for that right hand.
And keep him outside.
You got to get a little busy with the hands, Oscar. You let them in the fight. Throw those combinations once in a while. They look great.
Okay, you have to start crouching a little bit. Okay, when you let out the jab, crouch out a little bit. Okay, and step up the pressure. Don't give him a chance to do those things, all these things that he's doing at this point. When you jab, stay on the left-hand side, okay?
Conventional wisdom is that Quartey cannot win a close decision in what amounts to Oscar De La Hoya's hometown. No matter how we score the fight, the benefit of the doubt in the close rounds may be going to De La Hoya. Oscar Quartey will have to open up.
It's worth pointing out, though, that all 3 judges are from out of the United States, 2 from the United Kingdom, 1 from Japan, as they attempt to eliminate any implication of favoritism in the judging here.
Now, Oscar has Quartey reaching out with paw and hooks rather than jabbing straight forward. Got his hand tucked to his side, and I'm telling you, Oscar can do a lot of things when his hands are in that position.
And incidentally, between rounds, you probably heard Gil Clancy leaning in over De La Hoya's left shoulder and talking into his left ear. Throw more combinations, he said. They look beautiful.
Every now and then, he said. Not constantly, just throw them every now and then and let the guy know that you have something. Now, when you start throwing left hooks wild like that, then you get out of rhythm. So you got to really contain yourself, Oscar.
And Quartey having to discipline himself to choose his shots correctly in a fight in which he's fighting at a much more measured pace than he's ever been accustomed to in his career.
What Oscar is doing, using the middle of the ring. He's not interested in the ropes. He's not interested in anything but the middle of the ring.
Do you see anything here so far, George, that indicates that 16-month layoff is a big factor for
It has nothing to do with it. He's found a guy who can jab with him, Quartey has, and he's trying to find a way to do it. One thing about it, he's brave. He hasn't given up. He's just looking for another way. Now he's slapping with his left jab. You don't want to do that. That's when you can really get countered because it throws your body inwardly toward the pointing of your feet.
Well, and the two times that De La Hoya has landed sharply with big right-hand counters, it was when Quartey got lazy with his jab, pawed with it, didn't bring it back in a hurry, dropped it down to his waist, and he's holding it down there now.
Now you see Oscar has no respect for Quartey's right hand. He's only watching the left jab, which is good. The guy...
But nothing's happening in this round, basically. I don't see De La Hoya doing much. I see Quartey doing most of the landing.
Not much is a lot for Oscar De La Hoya. Not much is a lot.
Body punches inside.
What do you mean by that, George?
What does that mean?
Because you don't want to get out there and take some chances with a guy whose only chance thus far is to win by knockout. You want to stay positioned. Don't take any risk. Jab him because the whole world has said he has a good jab. So out jab him. The crowd will applaud. You got your hometown.
Well, maybe he improves his chances to win by decision in this round, because I tend to agree with Larry. Quartey has controlled the activity here, and I'd be hard-pressed to see how a judge could give this round to Oscar.
When you get him to the ropes, you got to do something.
Oscar. You had to make some more steps side to side.
And move your hands.
Ocupado.
One hand at a time. Put them together. Remember, starting to the bottom.
Okay, stop stepping back, okay? Okay, anytime you hit him, just follow him. Wherever he goes, just follow him. And keep jabbing. Wait, if you decide to come back, keep jabbing when you start coming back.
You got to be first. Maintain him on the outside. And be careful with that right hand.
Round 6 of a scheduled 12.
Oscar starts off with a stiff jab.
And down goes Quartey on a classic De La Hoya left hook.
It was because of the way it dismantles you, that stiff jab of Oscar De La Hoya. Remember, the left hook was just part of it.
Quartey was down twice against Lopez. One of them was a flash, but the second one was on a hard punch like that.
Oscar should suppose now that this was done because of the effectiveness of the left jab, not because of the right punch. Don't go back to what you were doing. Don't get over anxious and start reaching.
Right hand retaliation for Quartey. De La Hoya begins to open up and trade, taking chances.
It's not necessary for Oscar. Not necessary at all.
He must believe he has the Ghanaian star hurt enough to contemplate finishing it. Down goes De La Hoya on a left-hand counter by Quartey.
It was because he got a little closer and he tried the uppercut too early.
Now you got the makings of a classic. And now it's Quartey who thinks he can finish. Hard to the body, hard to the body. And Halpern warns him that he must follow his instructions.
And Halpern gives De La Hoya a chance to recover.
Both men have been down in the 6th round. And both were real knockdowns on hard punches. Halpern deducted no points. That was just a warning to Quartey.
Oscar's starting to open up with the left uppercut, which is not a good idea yet.
And Quartey starting to come back with his jab.
Oscar's going to have to go back to his left jab, take control of the fight again. If not, it's just going to get rougher and rougher.
Another flush right hand cross for Quartey, and De La Hoya buckled for a moment, but didn't go down.
Now we see this famous jab that Quartey was talking about.
It was in the 6th round of the Leonard Hearns Classic fight that the fight broke out. In the 6th round of this fight, the fight has broken out.
It's on now, baby. It is on.
It's up to the corners now to get Oscar back in control. This is when you need someone to communicate with you.
Because the more he brawls, the more chances he gives to Quartey. Hard left hook upstairs for De La Hoya. Quartey grins. That means he was hurt.
Now the jab is back for Oscar. Keep it up. Let him smile, but get your points. And Quartey has got to make sure he gets into the body of Oscar so he doesn't have any strength in that left jab.
Another right cross for Quartey, and De La Hoya's left eye has begun to swell. What a round.
Get your face good.
Boxea un poquito más con pasos laterales, ¿ok?
Okay, don't forget, okay?
All right, first we're going to watch as Quartey goes down. He was a little off balance after taking a right hand. He comes in close, catches a left, doesn't appear to be hurt. Later, a perfect left hand drops De La Hoya on the seat of his pants.
Wasn't so much power, but right on the point.
Witness the punch you don't see coming. Crowd cheers as we get past the midpoint of the fight. Mitch Halpern wants the Vaseline off of De La Hoya's face. Too much grease.
Let me see. Okay, go!
That was very funny because the guy didn't take any grease off his face. He rubbed his head.
Brilliant. If Robert Alcazar got away without taking grease off his face, that's a heck of a move by the trainer.
I mean, that was great. Now, that's the first experienced thing I've seen Alcazar do.
All right, quickly, Harold, how do you have it? Jim, 3 rounds apiece, 57-57. But round 6 definitely to Ike Quartey, because even though they traded knockdowns, Quartey certainly finished strong. And look at the swelling under De La Hoya's left eye.
I have it 4 rounds to 2 for Quartey.
Quartey's right hand became a factor in the bout in that last round.
Oscar, all he has to do is stand on his, watch the pivot, make sure your pivot is your right foot, and keep that jab out there.
We can also remember that in that great classic fight, that it was Leonard's eye that also started to close up in the middle of the fight. His left eye from Tommy Hearns' great right hand.
Now remember, Quartey has a history of tiring in the late rounds. But he's tired in the late rounds of fights where he's been throwing 70, 80, 90 punches in the early rounds. That hasn't been the case here.
Awful conservative. At the same time, he's not waiting in. He has a lot of respect for the power of Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar's doing a good job with the jab. Quartey is smelling blood. He's like a tiger gotten loose there. Everything is jumping up. He's jumping up on his jab. He jumps up on his right hand. Everything is jump.
Fascinating, and what a testimony to the brilliance of their work habits that both of these great fighters at the height of their careers have introduced new elements into their game, and successfully so for this fight.
You're right, Jim. Quartey is showing more versatility in his boxing ability, and De La Hoya is using the right hand.
That's right. Whenever Oscar decides to throw a jab, whether it's hard or not, Quartey does nothing. Now he's relaxed. He's got his elbows in, Quartey has, and he's intending to jab some now.
But now that Quartey made his right hand a factor in the bout in the last round, De La Hoya is much more reluctant to throw the jab.
But he's gotten relaxed now. He's got his elbows close, and he feels like he can do whatever he wants to do now.
I don't see De La Hoya landing much at all.
Hard right cross for Quartey. De La Hoya wobbles again. Oscar trying to come back with the left hook. Quartey looking for a shot.
Dale vuelta y dale vuelta. Boxea.
You're fighting like you're stuck in mud. You got legs, use them. You have better legs than the other guy, use them.
You got to be first. You got to be first out there. And when you set him up, let out combinations, he covers up.
You need to get some distance.
Okay, okay, you're doing very well now. I'm very proud of you. Okay. Now when you jab, I want you to step to the side. Okay. Don't give him the full body. Don't give him the full body. Just step to the side. Okay.
End of the round. Quartey with a nice combination. Probably won the round for him. You heard in the corner Gil Clancy saying to De La Hoya, you're fighting like you're stuck in the mud. You've got better legs than him. Use them.
That's right. And De La Hoya begins to bounce. And you've always said, George, he's most dangerous offensively when he gets up and bounces like this.
You get a little bounce in his legs, he's going to do something to you. He works off the bounce.
It gives him the rhythm to fire his power punches.
Now he goes back into the mud, as Gil would say again. Keep your feet moving. If you're in condition, why not move them? You got nothing to prove. You can box.
Between rounds, to my eyes at least, De La Hoya wore a discouraged look on his face. Quartey always looks the same, even when he's down on the canvas. De La Hoya unwilling to commit to the left. Too many right hands have been coming back.
Yeah, he doesn't want to reach out at this point because he's been told, and that's why he's reluctant. Let the fight come to you.
His right, or his left eye is swelling. Quartey's targeting, looking for chances to fire the right hand again. De La Hoya reluctant to use his left, and a hard right hand again.
Now the left hand of Quartey is making some points here. He slaps with it. He's got his confidence in all angles now.
Uppercut from Quartey. It's a punch he doesn't throw all that often. Trying to put the right cross through the guard. De La Hoya not coming back.
Quartey is creating the impression that he is starting to dominate De La Hoya. De La Hoya has to do something quick to change that.
And he lands a right hand that changes the bout momentarily. And a left hook.
This boy's been in the Olympics. He's been in a lot of title matches. He's not going to fold. If you're going to whip him, you're going to have to whip him good. He's not going to fold under trying to discourage him with your smiles and those kind of things.
No question, George. And when he's been in trouble in big fights, he has always come out, particularly in the 12th round, and closed the show. Did it against John Molina, did it against Pernell, Whitaker. You have to look for him to reach down deep and try to do it again here.
The mistake Oscar's making, he's not moving his feet. First few rounds, he kept his feet, making certain that his jab, he would be out of the range of Quartey's jab.
Well, you fight the way you train. And there were rumors that De La Hoya's training camp was not great, but he says it was fine, and right now his left hook is coming back to life.
Don't push, step back, watch the heads, come on.
Oscar, start those combinations to the body, the flashy ones that you use with his mitts.
Give me two punches, okay, combinations. Papa, júntale dos golpes. Give me 2 punches, Papa. Give me the jab, and right after the jab, give me the two punches. And you have...
When he starts letting him follow you, he starts picking up confidence. Don't let him get any confidence. Follow him anytime you hear him. Jab him, follow him. Wherever he goes, follow him. Put a pressure on him. Okay?
Seconds out. All right, what's out? Come on. Seconds out. Let's go.
Round 9 of a scheduled 12. There have been 2 knockdowns. Both men were on the canvas in the 6th round. First, Quartey went down, and then as the De La Hoya contingent celebrated, De La Hoya was planted on the seat of his pants by Quartey.
Now De La Hoya goes jabbing to the body. He's hitting him in the chest with a left jab, which is what you want. The fight goes on, you hit a guy straight in the chest, he loses a lot of his power and all of that quick left hand and right hand stuff.
And as Quartey has limited his jab output, De La Hoya has gotten fewer and fewer chances to counter with the right hand. That was a big part of his fight plan, so he has to improvise something to replace it.
Yeah, but Oscar De La Hoya should be standing just a bit taller.
Going to the body and the uppercuts landed. He got 2 left uppercuts through the guard.
That's what you want to do. After you do it, set back down on your guns and make him come to you for some more. Don't go reaching after him. Quartey is very smart. Keeps his balance. His corner told him to follow him around, but he's a little smarter than that.
And Quartey hungering for the chance to land one more big right hand.
Those body shots are more important than the head shots right now that De La Hoya landed.
Bazooka Quartey begins to fire the jab in multiple numbers again. De La Hoya cannot afford to just stand there and watch Quartey jab.
Yeah, he's trying to wait and time a right hand, but this guy's jab is so quick, and he knows so much about what he's doing. You won't be able to just time a overhand right on top of his jab. You might as well just get started yourself.
This round has been all Quartey's jabs, with the exception of the 2 little De La Hoya flurries, one of them keyed by the uppercuts.
Whenever De La Hoya throws a right hand, pretty much lands it whenever he wants.
Right hand landed for Quartey, flush on the chin of De La Hoya.
That was a killer right hand. De La Hoya took it very well.
And lands a right hand of his own.
Oscar De La Hoya is taking the challenge. He's not fighting like a champion, he's fighting like a challenger. I mean, he wants it. He wants this win. May cost a few bruises, but you just got to go get it.
Courage, composure, dedication, class on the part of 2 tremendous welterweight fighters. What a show.
Good right hand by Quartey.
Another hard right hand by Quartey.
And De La Hoya does not move his feet afterwards.
And another right hand lands for Quartey. And going into the last 3 rounds, Oscar De La Hoya is in trouble.
Oscar, tus golpes están muy por fuera. Recórtalos en 45. Sigue trabajando los uppers. The uppers are working beautiful. Oscar, the hooks are too wide, Oscar.
You can't throw one combination and be satisfied. You got to come back. Show the judges you want to win the round.
De La Hoya is a very straight puncher, showing straight uppercuts, but late in the round, you saw that big right hand. And if there is any question about Oscar De La Hoya's will to win, taking that right hand was as clear a demonstration as you could get.
De La Hoya is showing courage and willpower beyond any ever displayed in his career. But courage and willpower don't win fights if you don't land the big punches.
Gil Clancy said a very interesting thing in the corner. It's something we've alluded to here, which is you've got to show the judges you're trying to win the round. For long portions of the round, Oscar hasn't been punching. There he does.
He wobbles Quartey with another counter left. And this time, Quartey regains his balance.
Oscar just got to be himself. all of the strategy stuff is already gone. Now throw it out the window and be yourself.
Because time is running out.
Yeah,
Harold
be yourself.
Letterman, how do you have it through 9?
Jim, 87, 84, 6 rounds to 3. Ike Quartey. I got Ike Quartey with a 5 rounds in a row. I just don't think Oscar De La Hoya is doing enough to win these rounds. And Ike Quartey is the effective aggressor, landing more clean punches. He's coming forward, and good defense. That's for the story. One thing I gotta mention, Ike Quartey is measuring him for 2 rounds. He leaves that left hand out there just like Lennox Lewis. Mitch Halpern's letting him get away with it, but he's got to keep the glove closed in order to measure Oscar De La Hoya. If he opens it, it's illegal.
Quartey knocked out Crisanto España in the 11th round in 1984. That's his late round knockout earlier in his career. Oscar De La Hoya knocked out Jimmy Bridal in the 10th round in 1994. Neither has ever had a 12th round knockout. De La Hoya trying to scratch out the beginning of some kind of a rally here in the round 10.
And he can do it if he just continues to believe in his left jab. Whenever he throws combinations after the left jab, Quartey is there. But when he does not, he misses.
And we talked about role reversal. Remember Ray Leonard becoming the puncher to beat Tommy Hearns when Hearns had taken over the role of the boxer. So now, as De La Hoya tries to work with his left hand, it's Quartey who's looking to counter over the top with his right.
Quartey's eyes are wide open. Hasn't lost anything. He's physically strong. He's ready for whatever amount of rounds that may pop up. He's in shape.
Hard left hook for De La Hoya.
That's what Oscar De La Hoya does. He shouldn't be holding back, trying to be something that training camps have molded you into.
De La Hoya is showing more effort here and might be able to squeeze the round out.
Yep.
Good left hook by Oscar De La Hoya.
Maybe De La Hoya is doing enough to, as Gil Clancy said, show the judges you want to win the round. But the situation remains difficult. And with 2 rounds to go, Oscar De La Hoya badly needs to produce the 6 most spirited fighting minutes of his life.
Síguele cuidando la derecha, ¿ok? Laterales.
Okay, you got a lateral movement, and be careful with his right hand. And don't let him out-jab you.
Faltan 2 rounds nada más.
We only got 2 rounds to go. 11th and 12th, and that's it.
Just rest and relax. 2 more rounds, Oscar. Come on. We need those rounds from the back.
Okay. I don't want you to jab. I don't want you to launch when you jab, okay? I mean, put a lot of pressure on him, okay? All right, don't let him follow you. Once he starts following, he picks up confidence, okay? And then he starts landing all these kind of combinations. So be very careful. All right? Just get in and out. Get in and out. That's all you got to do.
De La Hoya angrily getting up from his stool, and you heard Ike Quartey's trainer telling me didn't want him to jab. No jabs in the last 2 rounds. Obviously, he doesn't want De La Hoya to get a chance to counter with a right hand that could change the fight. They must believe in Quartey's corner that he's well ahead.
I don't see that at all.
And I think they'd make a sad mistake to assume anything like that here in Las Vegas. I don't care who the judges are.
Well, and I don't think Quartey's going to listen to him either. How can you tell a fighter like that not to go in and jab? It's the reflex his whole career has been built on.
All night, Oscar's been waiting to go over top of that left jab of Quartey. All night he's waited. You have to just start saying, forget, I'm not going to wait, I'm going to do it. Oscar hurt his right hand that time on the elbow of Quartey.
He's got to attack. And he's got to attack with the left hand, which has been his bread and butter throughout his career. Oscar De La Hoya, if he's going to go down, has got to go down using the left hook.
Yeah, but his jab is doing a lot of good power things there. I like that jab of Oscar De La Hoya. He's using his footwork now, bouncing. Let me tell you, if you rush in now, Quartey is so relaxed. It should have come a point where he was not so relaxed and started to charge a bit more.
And Quartey has shown no sign of tiring here. After a career marked by fatigue in the late rounds, he measured himself carefully in the early rounds tonight and has brought plenty to the table in round 11.
You know, the side of Oscar's face is swollen. Quartey is not taking advantage of moving over on that side at all. When you see some swelling, go over on that side and start picking your fight up. You don't need to be on his left side. Put your left foot on the other side of his left foot and stay over there fighting.
Well, what about the fact, though, that that's De La Hoya's strong side? I mean,
he has no strong sides when he can't see. Believe me, when your eyes are swollen like that, there's a vision problem here. You're supposed to just put your left foot on the opposite side of his left foot and fight him from there all night.
This is the way De La Hoya's right eye swelled in the closing rounds against Miguel Angel Gonzalez. But that was a fight in which he was well ahead and comfortably headed toward victory. This is a different story.
De La Hoya is doing very little in this round.
Until now.
His first flurry with 30 seconds left.
Quartey continues to grin in there like a man who thinks he is headed to the bank.
Well, he's grinning, but he's not throwing a lot of punches afterwards. After every combination, Quartey throws 3 jabs.
Minutes to go.
And as he goes back to the corner, De La Hoya shook his head.
Deep inhale, come on. Nice and relaxed, deep inhale, wipe it off.
No me tires la pelea en este round, es el último.
Okay, Oscar, this is the last round. I don't want you to blow it.
Vamos agarrando este round.
We got to get this round.
Busy.
You got to be busy.
Don't let him out busy you. You got to show the judges this round.
Okay.
This is the last round. Don't give him any chance. You control the fight. It's the last round, okay? Just control it. Beat him. That's all you need to do. Okay? Keep both hands up.
Please be careful of that right hand. That's all he's got, and he's been effective. It's the last round. Don't blow the fight now.
Oscar De La Hoya has a history, both as an amateur and a professional, of fighting great closing rounds when he needs them. Never in his long career has he more badly needed a great closing round than right now.
Oscar's brave. He is brave. Oscar De La Hoya is the brave man. He's brave.
It was the left hook. If you're going to lose using the left hook. And he did it.
He has shown that he is the bravest fighter in the ring tonight.
Crowd trying to lift their man. Quartey holding on. Remember Lennon Hearns? Remember Tommy Hearns leading in the fight, strikes across the rope in the 14th round. Mitch Halpern looking on. Halpern's close. He's close.
What a brave man Oscar De La Hoya is.
Halpern's going to stop it, I think.
He's brave.
De La Hoya is right there. It's Leonard Hearns all over if Halpern stops this fight. Quartey survives, still wobbly on his feet. A long way to go. Is De La Hoya punched out?
It's all yours, Jim.
So unlike Davey Pearl in 1981, Mitch Halpern elects to let the wounded warrior go on. And Quartey still with a chance to win. One knockdown already in the 12th. De La Hoya trying to make his left hook the deciding factor in the fight. Not Quartey's left jab, not Quartey's right hand. But the bread and butter punch that's carried out.
When you throw that many punches, you are out of wind. He did it though.
But he might have one more flurry in it.
He's looking for one more. Tell us about it, Jim.
Let the crowd tell you. All you need to know is in the soundtrack.
Both fighters showing their mettle in this round. These are two champions. The great Bill Russell once said that sport is a combination of art and war. We are seeing it right here.
And before we hear the judges' scores, if that's the way it's going to be,
There's a rematch clause in the contract. Let's see it.
And I would say that, Jim, no matter who wins this fight.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter who wins the fight. Let's see it again. Irresistible stuff. De La Hoya never producing that last flurry that we might have expected in the closing minute of the fight. Here comes the bell.
I had Ike Quartey winning the fight. Let's see how that last round influences the final result.
I saw the fight. Oscar De La Hoya's left jab winning that boxing match hands down. After every 3 good shots of De La Hoya, Quartey would land 1.
Congratulations. Excellent job.
CompuBox numbers in round number 12 of valiant Oscar De La Hoya landed 41 of 69, including that left hook in the opening seconds of the round that put Quartey down. Second knockdown of the fight for De La Hoya.
And I'll add this. This is the kind of fight that helps Oscar De La Hoya, even if he should lose it. Showing the kind of courage he did to come back.
Now here's the flurry during which Mitch Halpern watched but never decided to stop the fight.
And he was right, because Quartey is returning fire. He's staying in the fight. He has earned the right to go on. He is not out on his feet. And in another few seconds, De La Hoya will have punched himself out.
Yeah, but you don't want to get punched out by taking that many shots just by Quartey.
What a night. So how will the judges punctuate the drama? Well, here's a preview. Harold Letterman's scorecard. How'd you have it, Harold?
Jim, 114, 113. Ike Quartey, 7 rounds to 5. Jim, I thought Oscar needed 3 points to even it out. I would have given him 2. Great job by Mitch Halpern not stopping it. I'll tell you, it was a heck of a fight. Very close. I just thought Ike Quartey had too big a lead going into the last round, and I just don't think Oscar did enough to pull it out.
And Michael Buffer has the official decision. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the Budweiser scorecards, how about a round of applause for the best welterweight fight seen in Las Vegas since Hearns and Leonard. We now go to the Budweiser scorecards. Larry O'Connell scores the bout 115 to 114. He scores it for Quartey. John Keane scores the bout 116 to 113. He has it for De La Hoya. Ken Marita scores the bout 116 to 112 for the winner by split decision. And still the undefeated WBC welterweight champion of the world, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
A split decision victory for De La Hoya. We'll have more on the judges' scorecards in just a moment. But right now, let's look back at highlights of this brilliant 147-pound war. The action heated up in round number 6, when first Quartey went down on a classic left hook by De La Hoya. And then moments later, as De La Hoya tried to press what he believed was his advantage, Quartey with a counter left of his own, and Oscar was down. In the next few rounds, Quartey was able to seemingly take the lead in the fight with his big right hand that forced swelling in Oscar De La Hoya's left eye and twice wobbled the champion. But then in the 12th round, high drama, as a De La Hoya seemingly desperately in need of a knockout, fired that left hook to open the round and put Quartey on the seat of his pants. And then,
Shades of 17 and a half years ago, like Ray Leonard against Tommy Hearns. De La Hoya pressed Quartey against the ropes and pounded and waited to see if referee Mitch Halpern would step in to stop the fight and give him the victory. But Halpern, correctly noting that Quartey was throwing back the whole time, never did so. As it turns out, it was okay for Oscar anyway, as he gets the split decision. And amazingly to me at least, Oscar De La Hoya, on the cards of the two judges who scored the bout for him, John Keane and Ken Morita, did not need that big 12th round rally to win the fight. If he only wins the 12th round 10-9, or even if the round is even, he still wins the fight on the cards of Keane and Morita. Astonishing. And right now, Larry Merchant is with the winner and still unbeaten, Oscar De La Hoya.
Oscar, congratulations. You asked for a dangerous fight. You got one.
Oh, well, I called it from the beginning. I mean, this guy's a very good warrior. I mean, I give him all the credit in the world because I gave him some punches the last round that he wouldn't go down.
What surprised you about him? Was it his ability to box better than you thought? Tell us.
I think I underestimated his boxing ability. When I would try to rush him, I thought he would stay forward and fight me, but he did move some lateral movements, some waist movements. He's a very good fighter. I give him a lot of credit.
All right, in the sixth round, you knocked him down. It appeared you were coming on. Did you get a little anxious and walk into a punch?
I got a little anxious, yes. I mean, this guy was a very dangerous fighter. I mean, I was looking for his left jab, his left hook. Came back with the right hand, and caught me clean.
In the second half of the fight, for long spells, Oscar, you weren't doing much. You were going after him. In your corner, they were urging you to do something, at least to impress the judges.
Right.
What happened there?
I was a little worried of his punching power. This guy is a very powerful hitter, and I know I have to... it's a big learning lesson because I have to train harder, be more prepared, be aware, never underestimate my opponents, and this guy's a very tough, worthy opponent.
When you went out for the last round, did you think you had to do something dramatic to win the fight?
Not dramatic, because I knew all along that he was nobody was really putting the pressure. I was finishing the rounds pretty good. He wasn't connecting me with those good jabs that he has, but it was just a very intimidating fight for me.
But you certainly understood or conveyed the idea that there was some great urgency when you went out in the 12th round.
Of course. For the people, for the fans, for the public. They want to see good action-packed fights. I gave it to him the last round. I dropped him. I almost knocked him out. I had him. Oh my gosh, I'm very
Did you get
upset
arm
with myself.
Did you get arm weary? Because he was hurt, obviously, but he stood in with you, kept throwing punches.
No, this guy can take a punch. This guy's a real strong hitter, can take a punch, and I give him all the credit in the world.
Finally, there's a rematch clause in your contract in case he won. But this was such a great fight, and so many people got pleasure out of it. Do you want to give the public a rematch of this fight?
I don't know. You think it was a great fight, Larry? I don't think so. I don't really think so. There's better and bigger, better fights out there for me. I know that. More exciting fights that the people want to watch.
Basically, you're saying you don't want to fight him again.
I'll fight him anytime. I mean, as long as the contract is good, the date, the weight, everything, that people want to watch it again. I think people want to watch more exciting fights. Quartey, sometimes he did fight, sometimes he didn't. But, hey, that's his style, that's my style, and we gave you this fight tonight.
Thank you very much for an outstanding fight, Oscar De La Hoya. Jim?
All right. Thank you very much, Larry. Let's quickly take a look at final punch stat numbers, and you can see that they're close. De La Hoya landing 5 more punches than Quartey. Quartey throwing 57 more. Overall, higher connect percentage for De La Hoya, who was more measured in his output. Jabs, and one of the stories of the bout is that De La Hoya accomplished the seemingly difficult task of neutralizing Quartey's jab, landing almost as many, throwing 120 less, but reducing Quartey's connect percentage to 29%. And in various of his fights against good fighters, Quartey has been given credit for landing more than half his jabs. Let's go back to Larry Merchant with the man who lost the split decision, Ike Quartey.
Thank you, Jim, once again. Ike, did the fight go as you planned until the last round?
Yeah, that's what I plan. I plan to abuse him. I'm trying to abuse him. I know what he's coming to do. So we have our strategy.
So you plan to outbox him and surprise him in that way?
That's what he think I'm coming to fight. You know, everybody know I'm strong, so you know, I always come to fight. But I surprise him.
Was he stronger or quicker with his left hook than you anticipated because it was the left hook that knocked you down twice?
Not at all. I also knock him down with my left hook. So he's not strong, not smart, he's nothing. I've got nothing. He know who I am. Everybody saw fight this fight. You know what? You know, I'm happy my kids are here, all guys are watching this fight because I knew this is going to happen in Las Vegas.
Are you saying you didn't think that you thought it would be very difficult for you to win a decision here in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I know. I brought my own judges in the ring. I don't expect any judge. You know, I know in Las Vegas if I don't take a good distance, they'll get a fight to me. That's what happened. You saw the fight. Everybody saw the fight in the world.
If you thought that you had to win the fight by stopping him, why didn't you get more aggressive in the late rounds?
Yeah, you know, he's a champion. I respect him as a champion. You don't have to respect, you know, put pressure on him because you have to respect him and fight him and knock him out easily.
So you're saying you respected him, and so therefore you didn't attack him as hard as you might have otherwise?
No, I shouldn't have to attack him because, you know, that's not the plan. You know, I know what I'm coming to do, so there's no need to go and put pressure on him to knock him out. But I know, but later on I'll do what I got to do.
Give us your feelings about the decision in this fight.
Well, you saw the fight. I'm happy my kids are here. You know, everybody saw the fights in the world. I'm happy Ghana saw the fight because I knew this would happen in Las Vegas. You know, it was a bad decision. You saw it. You were here, right here.
I was, and I'm glad you were here as well, Ike Quartey.
And before we bring you back live into Madison Square Garden, one more look at some of the memorable drama of De La Hoya Quartey. The bookend knockdowns in the 6th round, one for each fighter. The difficulty De La Hoya endured in the rounds leading up to round 12. The big left hook that put Quartey on the seat of his pants to begin the final round. And the stirring rally, which was, in the eyes of most ringside observers who gave the fight to De La Hoya, the difference in the fight. The 12th round showing De La Hoya's courage and desire to win. And now we bring you back live to Madison Square Garden, where in a few minutes you'll see the next chapter in this welterweight round-robin saga as Pernell Whitaker comes in to take on Felix Trinidad. But a final word on De La Hoya Quartey with Larry Merchant. And Larry, we said before the fight that it was the biggest battle between unbeaten welterweight superstars since Hearns Leonard back in 1981. In victory now, does De La Hoya emerge with a lot of the luster that Ray Leonard brought out of his victory over Hearns in 81?
In a couple of ways, yes. First and foremost, as Leonard always did, De La Hoya finally challenged himself by taking on a dangerous opponent in his prime. And secondly, as Leonard always did, he showed that the end of a fight isn't about boxing. It's about summoning the will to close the show like a champion. Now we'll get a chance to see if also, as Leonard always did, De La Hoya fights all of those dangerous opponents out there, and there are 4 or 5 or 6 of them, and whether, again, like Leonard, he gives rematches to the ones who have earned it, starting with Ike Quartey.
Well, and perhaps also including, ironically, Pernell Whitaker, a rematch that a lot of us thought would never take place, but which apparently will if Whitaker is able to upset Felix Trinidad tonight. And George, 35-year-old Pernell Whitaker comes in here off a 16-month layoff occasioned by drug testing and drug rehabilitation in addition to other circumstances. He insists it's good for him, 16 months at this stage of his career, to rest his hands, to freshen his legs, to give him a new perspective. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, in Whitaker, you have a fighter who goes the distance all the time, but most of it is in the gym when he's punching on that heavy punching bag, speed bag, skip rope. He needs the time off. He's going to benefit himself by it. You fight regular when you're young so you can make a lot of money. When you get a little older, you don't need as many rounds in the ring. This time, I think it's going to benefit him the time off.
And as for drug rehab, the experts say you don't accomplish that until you identify the problem and admit that you have it. Judge for yourself now whether Pernell Whitaker has accomplished that task.
I was sorry that whatever happened, happened. So, you know, I took full responsibility. I shouldn't have, but I did. You know, and I don't even talk about that's 98. This is 99. I have nothing to say about that. That year is over.
I mean, this man has children, you know? And these kids go to school and it's, your daddy's a dope addict, you know, or, you know, nobody needs that.
The hell with boxing. What's wrong with Pernell? What can we do to help Pernell? Where did he go bad? Where did he go wrong?
Logic tells you Pernell Whitaker is almost out of chances. He's 35 now, and who knows what he has left after a 16-month layoff. Since last we saw him in the ring, Whitaker has endured failed drug tests, a boxing suspension, a DUI arrest, and a forced trip to rehabilitation. He's a big underdog tonight, too. But Pernell Whitaker has always been all about meeting challenges, and this could be his last stand.
I can't emphasize enough what this fight means out there, not so much for boxing or his career, but it means for Pernell Whitaker, the man, also.
You got to take the positive with the negative. In my whole career, that's all I've been. It's positive. Now, this little negative came up, and I didn't let it break me down. So, you know, and with the grace of God, you know, with the help, you know, I've been able to stay strong, man.
3 weeks in a New Jersey-based rehabilitation center helped him stay strong. A surprise to Pernell, who remains skeptical about his need for treatment.
A lot of these people have horror stories, you know, and all. You know, I had no business sitting there with these people. But I stayed focused, and I kind of enjoyed being here and learning this. You know, I was learning, man. When I was in there, I was there. I was, you know, I was feeling for some of these people. I mean, you know, not for everybody. I was feeling for, and those people were feeling for me also. But I was there, man, and I was involved. You know, I was involved. I was there. I wanted it, and then, you know, I wanted to be there, and then, cause you know, it was something. It was a learning experience for me.
He's not the only one that's you know, fallen into that trap. But I think he's been man enough and big enough to overcome that and move on with his life. And that's the thing that I'm proud of. That's the thing I'm happy about for Pernell.
You know, I've been able to stay strong, man. You know, and that's what it's all about, stay strong. I came from nowhere to somewhere. I lived in the projects all my life, you know, and I had a gift. You know, so, hey, don't tell me about negative. You can't do that. Take something bigger than what you're sticking on me now to get me down.
While rumors of Whitaker's partying have circulated for years, that was never really the issue. Not with 6 world titles at 4 weight classes. But a failed drug test after a fight in October of 1997 could not be overlooked. A suspension ensued, but was lifted after an agreement was made on random drug tests for 6 months. A second failed test resulted in suspension and cost him a title shot against Quartey. And a DUI arrest in June after rehabilitation seems reason for continued concern, as does Pernell's insistence that he never had a problem.
I never had a problem with my personal life. I live my life the same way. You know, it's no secrets in my life. I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, I don't enjoy my life the way any other man or woman should enjoy theirs. You know, I love to have the finer things in life.
Tonight is Whitaker's shot at redemption. Can he rally a 35-year-old body to one more great performance? Or will Sweet Pea join the long list of boxing champions who held on too long and are remembered for the wrong reasons?
A lot of people don't remember the good things. All they remember are the negative and all the bad things. So if we wanted to put it in that way, I'd say he's going to get a bad rap if he doesn't look good in this fight.
That's not going to be the way I'm going to be remembered in this sport for what happened back then. 1 year out of 14 years. I'm going out on top. Now I can come back, win this fight, and reclaim my state as the best fighter in the world, pound for pound.
An impressive win tonight would indeed vault Sweet Pea right back into the pound-for-pound debate. A loss could send him into retirement. But win or lose, a much larger fight still lies ahead for Pernell Whitaker, whether he acknowledges it or not. Live in about 5 minutes, Felix Trinidad and Pernell Whitaker will enter the ring in Madison Square Garden for their confrontation. We're counting down now toward that moment. Larry Merchant, the one thing Pernell Whitaker has never said in public and would not say to us yesterday when confronted on the subject is that he tested positive for cocaine because he took cocaine. Given his inability to be honest with himself about that, how sure can we be that we'll see the usual honest professional effort from him tonight.
The only thing we can be sure of, Jim, is that he's not planning a tell-all memoir. Pernell Whitaker is still a genius at defense or at denial. But tonight really isn't about those demons. There is no evidence that they have damaged him in the ring any more than his opponents over the years have. Tonight is about his age and fighting a talented, strong, undefeated champion. Once upon a time, Pernell Whitaker was so good that he could shut out an Azuma Nelson, or he could beat up a Julio Cesar Chavez. But that was then.
And that's one of the reasons why, while Pernell is in the spotlight tonight, the limelight falls much more clearly on Felix Trinidad, as Trinidad now tries to establish himself as the premier anti-De La Hoya in the welterweight division. And George, since 2 years ago, Pernell Whitaker stretched De La Hoya to what many saw as a controversial decision, and in the eyes of many made De La Hoya look awkward and ineffective during that bout, then logic tells you that Trinidad, by contrast, will want to provide an explosive knockout. Is that good for him in this fight?
I think so, but it's not that he want to do it. Trinidad is just a natural puncher. Every punch he throws, his intentions are brutal. He intends to get a knockout with every punch. So it's not like he's going to try to win and win on points and look pretty. He wants a knockout by nature.
That's why fans are so excited about Felix Trinidad, because in the eyes of many boxing experts, he is alone on an island as the most explosive puncher, pound for pound, in the sport.
I've been a champion for 6 years, but it's time for the big purses now, and it's time for the big fights that years ago I never got. Not because of me, but because of the promoters. But it's 1999, and it'll be a great year for me.
26-year-old welterweight champion Felix Trinidad is in his 10th year of professional boxing. But because he's never received the kind of exposure or prize money he feels he deserves, he's fought only 3 times in the last 28 months and remains relatively little known.
It's bothersome, yes. Inactivity can hurt a boxer's career. He's not earning money, he's not seen, he's not maintaining his level of visibility. But we got a good contract for him now. He's being paid what he's worth on the market. On 2 occasions, I've had 7 and 8 months of inactivity. This time I've gone 9 months without a fight. But now we're done with this whole thing with Don King, the conflicts in court in New York and in Puerto Rico. It's all been resolved.
Unhappy to have been an underpaid, undercard fighter throughout his career, Trinidad ended his feud with promoter Don King when King rewarded Felix with a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract. It will finally shift the focus from the courtrooms to the boxing ring.
At one time, you could say that Don King didn't value my career enough. I wasn't paid per fight what I'm worth. But now I'll earn big money in my next fight. What we want to do is just boxing, boxing, boxing. Get some big fights and show those who may have any doubts that there's no one better than me.
The timing couldn't be any better for Trinidad. In the competitive, star-studded 147-pound division, a win over Whitaker could open doors for a possible showdown with Oscar De La Hoya after De La Hoya's split decision victory over Quartey last week.
His time has come. I've been saying that for a long time. Along with the financial compensation, he's got to get the big fights. The promoters know that to pay him, they've got to get fighters who will attract the public. And Tito wants to fight those boxers who are at his level too.
Now appearing in his first big fight since he decisioned Hector Camacho and knocked out Yuri Boykampas and Obakar 5 years ago, Trinidad is confident a victory over Whitaker will bring him the recognition that has eluded him for so long.
I think that after this fight with Whitaker, when I win, I'm sure the public and everyone else will see that I am the best pound for pound. After that fight, there will be no doubt that I'm #1.
Further complicating Trinidad's obscurity problem is the fact he still lives in his native Puerto Rico.
I've lived here all my life. My family's here, my people. I like it here. I like the atmosphere. And no matter where I go, everyone, Puerto Ricans, Americans, everyone says hello.
So Felix Trinidad's moment to make a mark in contemporary welterweight history has finally arrived. There should be no more excuses about problems with promoters and insufficient prize money. He has his big money contract now and seeks to gain respect to go along with it. Back live in Madison Square Garden for the tale of the tape between Felix Trinidad and Pernell Whitaker, and you can see Trinidad's advantages in age, in height, and in reach, but making weight was a struggle for the Puerto Rican star, who was reportedly 5 pounds over the day before the weigh-in and spent the last hour or so before weighing in late running with sweatshirts on in the streets of Manhattan to get his weight down. Tonight, they both come in at 155. Punch that numbers, Larry.
Take a look and see how active they are. We can see that Trinidad throws more punches, but remember that Whitaker is so good in defense that an opponent's numbers are meaningless against him. Same thing with the jabs. Trinidad can jab, and he can hurt you with either hand.
And rules of the bout with the most honest scorer in boxing, our ringside man, Harold Letterman.
The Felix Trinidad Pernell Whitaker fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. Jim, the important thing to remember tonight is you got a short fighter against a tall fighter. Whenever you get a short fighter against a tall guy, very often you get headbutts. So if a cut is caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards after 4 rounds have been completed. Before that, it's a technical draw. Back to you, Jim.
Pernell Whitaker's last prize fight took place on the night of October 17, 1997. That was the last time Quartey had fought prior to his appearance last week against De La Hoya. So the 490-day layoff, by far the longest of Whitaker's career. He began his professional career here in Madison Square Garden November 15, 1984, after having won his gold medal at the LA Olympics. In that first fight here that night, he knocked out a fighter named Farron Como in the second round. And here comes Sweet Pea.
Cut it up, cut it up. Cut it up, baby.
With his left hand on Whitaker's shoulder there, former Olympic teammate and former world welterweight champion Mark Breland, long departed from the sport as an active participant. Sweet Pea Whitaker loves to say, "I've never lost a fight." His professional record, 40 wins, both losses by decision to Jose Luis Ramirez and Oscar De La Hoya, hotly disputed by Whitaker's camp. The draw against Julio Cesar Chavez was clearly no draw. He certainly deserved to win that night. Again, Pernell loves to say, "I've never lost a prize fight." And the opponent is a man who never has lost a professional prize fight, officially or unofficially. Large Puerto Rican contingent in the crowd here at Madison Square Garden should provide what amounts to a home court advantage for Felix Trinidad.
Earlier tonight, junior welterweight champion Vince Phillips lost his title to a relatively unknown fighter
named Teron Millette from St. Louis.
And you can attribute that loss to the fact that he had to take off massive amounts of weight to make 140 pounds. 47 pounds he took off in 7 weeks. Trinidad has also had serious weight problems. He should really be a junior middleweight. But he is 10 years younger than Phillips. And when you're young and strong, you can get away with these things.
Felix Trinidad has a record that underlines his reputation as an explosive puncher. 33 wins, 29 of them by KO. 12 knockouts in his 13 title fights. Only Hector Camacho went the distance with him in a title fight. Camacho, of course, did the same thing with Oscar De La Hoya. And now let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the most famous sports address in the Big Apple, New York City, Madison Square Garden, Don King Productions, along with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser. This Bud's for you. In association with Main Events Monitor, Madison Square Garden and HBO present 12 rounds of boxing for the International Boxing Federation Welterweight Championship of the World. Sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission Chairman Mel Southard, First Executive Director Tony Russo, Executive Director Jim Paulzanello, Director of Boxing Bob Duffy, Chief Physician at ringside Dr. Billy Lathan. Ringside physicians are Dr. Stephen Gelfman, Dr. Richard Estrico, and Dr. Robin Scarlata. The timekeeper at the bell is Jim Borzell. IBF President at ringside, Robert W. Lee. IBF Supervisor at ringside, Bobby Lee Jr. In the ring as special guests, the Mayor of Bayamon, Puerto Rico, Ramon Luis Rivera, and Secretary of Sports of Puerto Rico, Eric Labrador. The three judges scoring this contest on a 10-point must system will be Biba Exton, Melvina Lathan, and Samuel Conde Lopez. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Benji Estevez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden, New York City. Let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue trimmed with white. He weighs 147 pounds. In 1984, he captured Olympic gold, and now as a professional in 43 bouts, he has 40 victories, 17 by knockout, with 2 losses and 1 draw. There are many experts who believe, actually, that he has never lost a fight in the ring. And over most of the past decade, he has been considered pound for pound the best there is. Tonight, he plans to show the world he still is. From Norfolk, Virginia, ladies and gentlemen, here is the challenger and former 6-time world champion, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, trimmed with red. He also weighs 147 pounds. His professional record stands at a perfect 33 bouts, 33 victories, 29 victories by knockout. Tonight, he steps into this ring in the pursuit of greatness, ready to show the world that he, and he alone, is the one to be called pound for pound the very best. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros de Coupé Alto, Puerto Rico, presenting the reigning and defending undefeated IBF welterweight champion of the world, Felix Quito Trinidad.
Quítale el collar, por favor. Chief Second. Tito, obedezca mis reglas. Pernell, obey my commands at all times. Dame una pelea limpia. Give me a clean match. I want to win.
wish you luck. Buena suerte a los dos. Touch up. Good luck to you.
Okay. Trinidad trying to make his case for a climactic showdown with Oscar De La Hoya. Trying to do a better job against Whitaker than De La Hoya did. Trying to look good against a fighter nobody has ever looked good against.
And you may have noticed that in a perhaps stilted attempt to balance out the scoring scales here, they appointed one judge from Whitaker's home state of Virginia and another from Trinidad's home province of Puerto Rico. The suggestion is that scoring for the bout lies in the hands of the neutral judge, Melvina Lathan from the state of New York. Felix Trinidad has a long history of getting knocked down in the early rounds. As near as we can figure, he's been down at least a half dozen times, maybe 7, always in the first 3 rounds of the bout. Always he has gotten up to avenge the knockdowns by knocking out the perpetrator.
And Pernell Whitaker is right on top of him, trying to get inside his reach, it appears.
And you saw the super quick delivery of the left hook, which is one of the Trinidad trademarks.
Trinidad is going to need to keep his jab a bit more active, not allow Pernell Whitaker to get too close. But once he gets close to you, he make himself acquainted with you, and you won't be able to hit him with anything. And Whitaker's job is to make sure he stay close, so this guy can hit you on the end of those punches.
When De La Hoya fought Pernell Whitaker, April of 1997, he had a hard time making his jab a factor in the fight. Ultimately scratched out a victory with right hand leads and enough power punches to win the approval of the judges.
But Trinidad, he has to be careful now. For the first time, he's in with a skillful left-hander. Every time you step forward with your jab, he's going to bump it with your foot too. And Trinidad all night will have his feet on top, left foot on top of Whitaker's right foot.
Pernell's right foot. And it's always what you watch, George. When a conventional fighter fights a southpaw, the 2 lead feet.
But some fighters don't need to slide forward as Trinidad does. He slides forward, and if he can't find that sliding, he's out of range.
Hard right hand inside by Trinidad as they push for position. Whitaker trying to land a left over the top. Whitaker's new head trainer, Tommy Brooks, emphasized in camp, you must make him miss, you must make him pay. You made De La Hoya miss, you didn't make him pay enough. Make Trinidad pay more.
That's right. You want to get there and take any amount of courage from the younger opponent that you can. Make him want to box. That's where you know you're superior. Make him like to box by hitting him in the side and in the chest.
Whitaker flat-footed, attacking, going more to the body than we're used to seeing him. There may be some blood trickling from Trinidad's nose.
Whitaker is using that experienced right jab, and he's pointing it. Wherever he points it, he hits. And let me tell you, that can cause a lot of problem on a young opponent. Seeing blood early in a boxing match.
Excuse me, George. A hard left hand from Whitaker, just as the bell sounds to end the first round. And Pernell looks to be in excellent fighting shape. If they speak Spanish in Felix Trinidad's corner, as we expect Felix Trinidad's senior will to his son, then our interpreter is Hector Garcia.
They were so shocked in Trinidad's corner, they didn't get the stool in for 20 seconds.
Don't pay attention to that cut. You're doing real good. Don't get desperate on this fight. Keep your hands up and let him do whatever he wants to do. You keep your pace. Slow down. Just go for it.
Hey, listen, that jab is working wonders, man. Okay. See his nose bleeding already? All right, let's go to work.
Stay back there, Pernell.
CompuBox numbers in round 1. Whitaker threw 40 jabs, landed 15 of them. Trinidad 9 out of 27. All in all, CompuBox has Whitaker outlanding Trinidad 21-12 in the first round. And you can see that Harold Letterman saw the round for the man in blue, Sweet Pea Whitaker.
Trinidad's corner is going to have to be real cagey and pace a young fighter when you're up against a veteran of this nature.
No punch, break.
George, the young fighter's been a champion for more than 5 years.
Yep.
He should be able to handle anything.
Well, youth is youth, and that has not anything to do with it.
George doesn't trust him until they get past 40, Larry.
These veterans, they got some tricks that you've never seen before.
Trinidad with a straight right hand lead. Classic technique against the southpaw. Whitaker diving in, pounding Trinidad to the body. And Whitaker so far making it clear that if referee Benji Esteves doesn't stop him from holding, he will.
Trinidad was able to get a little effective with his jab. Whitaker want to make certain that once you get hit with one punch, move the next time. Don't get hit with 2 shots at a time.
Keep him punching. Keep him up. Let's go.
Esteves warning Whitaker about a low blow. The two fighters landing mostly 1 punch at a time. Hard left hand from Trinidad as Whitaker reached with the right.
That's what I said earlier. Whitaker does not need to get hit with 2 punches at a time because Trinidad, 1 shot hurts you. Duck and dodge the next time.
I got you. Let's go.
Whitaker's totally absent of any head movement now. Keeps his head straight, looking at him punching.
Hard left hand for Whitaker. Trinidad stunned as Pernell, who is more down on his flat feet than I've ever seen him, gets more punching power from it than we've normally seen from him in the past. As he comes down off his toes, the head movement goes away, George.
Well, you know, Whitaker, like I said, you want to duck and dodge after you throw a shot and just before, because this guy can hit.
Down goes Whitaker on a straight right hand. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Several fighters have had Pernell Whitaker down in his career. Roger Mayweather, Buddy McGirt twice, Raphael Williams. Nobody's ever knocked him out.
Trinidad is an extra base hitter, and he hit a clean shot. It's impressive primarily because he's been having so much trouble with Whitaker, and yet he's maintained his poise. He stays right in there, knowing he has the big weapon.
Part of the book on fighting a southpaw, George, the right hand lead, and Trinidad fired it right down the pipe.
Come on, let's keep it clean now.
That happened mainly because Whitaker has no head movement. You don't allow a guy to just pipe in just like you got a rifle and aim and shoot like that.
Crowd chanting Tito, 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 Trinidad's nickname.
I think really good for Trinidad. You knock a veteran down, he tries to pay you back, and then you're sitting in the driver's seat.
Pernell Whitaker stepping up and shortening the distance between himself and Trinidad. Could be a reckless strategy. But Whitaker's trainer, Tommy Brooks, to our mild surprise, said, we're not going for a decision for Sweet Pea. We're going to knock Trinidad out.
Whitaker evidently without any footwork trying to get a knockout.
It's a more stationary Pernell Whitaker than we've ever seen at any time in his career. A man who has prided himself in the past on being unfindable in there. Trinidad is finding him tonight.
Once Whitaker starts moving his head here and there, the fight turn into something he can handle. Make your opponent miss. He's more effective when he's making his opponent miss. Little head movement.
No head movement there. Trinidad just popping the jab right onto Whitaker's face. And the right hand lands for Trinidad. Whitaker sticking his jab after landing a left hand in retaliation. Pernell trying to get to the body and pushing with the right hand.
Now, Trinidad is real effective with one shot at a time because he's a puncher. Whitaker's going to have to put together 3 and 4 punch combinations. Don't throw one at a time. Make up your mind you're going to throw 3 and you'll catch him.
Again, the right hand lands for Trinidad. Just sticking that right hand lead onto the face of Whitaker, who looks to referee Benji Esteves as if to say, why don't you pull him off of me?
Much more action-packed fight than Whitaker's fight with De La Hoya.
Much more.
Whitaker feel like he's been physically challenged now. This is a macho thing. This guy is going to run all over him if he doesn't fight. Doesn't want to out-jab him. He wants a knockout.
Chopping right hand for Trinidad. Another right hand lands. Whitaker comes back with a left over the top. Backs Trinidad up.
Don't pay attention to your cut. You're fine. That blood is finished. Just be careful. Be calm and take it easy. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. When you're inside,
Hey, listen. Try to time me with their counter.
I know, I'm trying.
Okay? But you gotta put them together though, in case you're missing with it. You pick him up with the second or the third shot.
Get my body beat.
By CompuBox numbers, in round 3, it became a slugging match. Trinidad landing 24-48, Whitaker 29 out of 62. But here's the key. Whitaker's previous 20 opponents, including De La Hoya, combined to land 28% of their punches against him. Trinidad is landing 44% so far tonight, and you wonder how long Sweet Pea can withstand that kind of punishment. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Jim, 2 rounds to 1, 29-27, Felix Trinidad. You got to give him an extra point for that knockdown in the second round. He's landing the clean Ohana shot, so he won rounds 2 and 3. But Jim, I got to tell you, it's illegal to pull Pernell Whitaker's head down. Now the judges see that. I hope Benji Esteves sees it, because Trinidad grabs Whitaker behind the neck, pulls his head down constantly. That's illegal.
For as long as it goes, I think Benji Esteves is in for a rough night here, trying to decide when to intervene and when to let it go.
Trinidad is having an easier time of it when he steps back a little bit. He's able to slide forward with his jab. It's a little easier stepping back jabbing than going forward because Whitaker cuts him off with his right foot.
And the sliding the front foot forward is important to Felix's rhythm and his power, right?
He needs that rhythm. Whitaker is showing him, look, I'm going to fight you. I'm not going to be fair. I'm going to fight you mean and rough. That was the first good body punch by Trinidad this time, with a right to the body.
And as they get close, Whitaker pounding to the body to try to take some of the mustard out of Trinidad's punches.
Trinidad is using a good left jab, but it's all about, I'm going to hit you with a right hand afterwards. Never tried to double up on a good jab.
Last few right hands from Trinidad have been pushed just a little bit, landing them, but not with the kind of sit that he had in the first few rounds. The left hook landed there, and another straight right.
When a fighter who has won fights by his quickness and cleverness through most of his career matures and gets older, you you get a chance to see what he's made of, and we're seeing what Pernell Whitaker is made of as he goes right at a younger, stronger puncher.
Yeah, but this is no time in your life to try to be too courageous. You want to box, hit him, and get out of the way.
It's just hard to imagine Pernell Whitaker winning the fight, going right at Felix Trinidad. And this will be ruled a slip. But Trinidad has landed 2 solid left hooks in the last minute inside against Whitaker.
How are you feeling? I'm okay. You have to be calm, okay? Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Stand there. We're gonna start fighting right now. Are you feeling okay now? We're gonna go for it now. Keep your hands up.
So you got to throw your punches and step. Either side. It don't matter. Okay?
Go to this guy's body, Pete. Go to this guy's body. He's puffing and huffing out there, baby.
Here we can see as they get in the clinch, as Trinidad holds illegally, according to Harold Letterman, but referee does not take notice.
Very forbidding punch stat numbers for Pernell Whitaker in round 4. Felix Trinidad landing 25 out of 39 punches, 16 of 26 power shots, carry picking in effect against Whitaker. Taking a lot of hard shots.
You heard Whitaker started a dirty fight. Now it gets a little dirty, he complains. Now this isn't the time to complain. Get back with him.
You heard in Trinidad's corner, they're telling him to go and get him. They feel he's just too strong, that Whitaker can't really hurt him. And here he comes.
One of the scenarios here was that the younger, stronger man would simply go out and overpower Whitaker and render all of his technique and his skills meaningless. We're on the verge of that, though it isn't quite happening that clearly yet. Hard left hand for Whitaker. Trying to back Trinidad off and force the Puerto Rican fighter to be a little bit more measured in his approach.
Well, you tell your fighter to go and get him. I don't know if you want to do it, but at the same time, you don't want to pull him up. You want to keep his confidence. He's been winning a lot of boxing matches in the beginning, so keep telling him to go at it.
Pernell Whitaker surviving in Felix Trinidad's sights so far.
Trinidad is like some viper. Strikes out, step back, steps right back on you.
If the strategy is to make Trinidad miss and make him pay, then the first part of the strategy isn't yet working. Pernell is not making him miss.
That Trinidad just waits and waits for one right hand. If you make a mistake, always right hand minded.
This will be ruled a slip as well, although Trinidad got in a pop on Whitaker's skull as Pernell went down. Left hand for Whitaker, and another.
It's plain that Trinidad feels that he's a truck fighting a sedan, that he can just walk through Whitaker.
Yeah, he's not terribly concerned about what's coming back.
He has power, and he believes in his power.
All right, George, some of our viewers may look at him and say, well, he's skinny. Where does all the power come from?
Oh, look at the shoulders, right around the chest. Conceals it.
It's also in the commitment to the punches.
And the timing, and the leverage, and the balance.
We're doing great. We're doing great. Breathe in. We're doing great. We're doing great. Breathe in deep. He is dead. But don't take any risk. This guy is dead. He's ready to go. It's only a matter of time. He's ready to go. Give us a little bit of water, please. It's just a matter of time. Just, did he slip before, or did you hit him? No, I hit him. Just be calm. Relax. Keep those hands up. Keep those hands up and throw that right hand. Go for it, man. Go for it. Go straight for it. Keep those hands up.
Let's go. Keep it clean. Limpio, limpio.
You know, when he was getting knocked down earlier in his career, Jim, he was wide open, throwing reckless punches. Trinidad is a much more controlled fighter now than he was in those days.
Pernell Whitaker showing a pretty stiff chin as he takes two vicious right hands from Trinidad. A lot of fighters would have been down right now. Whitaker holding on after the sizzling left hook. This is target practice at this point.
Well, but you got to understand that Whitaker has a few, 2 or 3 more tricks up his sleeve. No sleeves on, but he has a trick or two.
I'd like to know what they could be, George.
Might be a good time to break them out.
Anything that you can do that can upset the rhythm of Trinidad, as a veteran, you want to do that.
You know, we said going into the fight, nobody had ever looked good fighting Whitaker. Felix Trinidad looks good fighting Whitaker.
Trinidad comes back with his left hook. He's committed to every shot being a power punch.
Straight right hand lands boom. Winging right hand lands boom.
At this point, got his eyes wide open over the southpaw. He's able to stand his position.
Pernell firing jabs one at a time, reluctant to try to double up because of Trinidad's left hand. Whitaker ate some heavy leather early in this round, maintained his balance, and now Trinidad slows down as Whitaker lands a left across the top.
Yeah, at some point or another, if this fight continues this fashion, you want a patient fighter. He can distribute his power a little later on in the boxing match. You don't want to throw it all that soon. This does not look like a fighter who a few days ago was overweight.
Larry, how would you compare the punching power of Felix Trinidad as a 147-pounder with that of, well, before we get to that, Esteves, timeout, low blow, Whitaker gets a chance to recover.
All right? Okay? Let's go. You ready?
Still no penalty points. How would you compare Trinidad's punching power as a welterweight with that of Tommy Hearns as a welterweight?
Hearns is about as big a puncher as I ever saw as a welterweight.
Okay?
But this guy is a classic boxer who can knock you dead and hurt you with both hands with beautifully conceived punches.
Trinidad believed that his punch throw was legal.
5 seconds. 5 seconds.
And I think what Larry said is that while Hearns' right hand may have been bigger, Trinidad's left is better.
Beautiful out there, baby. Come on.
You knock this guy out, man. All you gotta do is throw it, Captain. All you gotta do is throw it. It's there. He's getting careless, man. Just take your time. Just take your time.
That jab in front, the jab in front all the time. He's got nothing left. Everything's okay? Yeah, everything's okay.
Here we see Trinidad coming forward. Straight right hand. Whitaker is there, not moving the way you used to see him move. Right now, Whitaker is in a position that he has to stay in there and do some damage. He has to do something dramatic.
All right, Brick, step back there, both of you.
Past the halfway point in the bout, Harold Letterman, how do you have it scored through 6?
Oh boy, I wish I was young. 5 rounds to 1. 59-54. Felix Tito Trinidad. Jimmy's walking right through him. I tell you, it doesn't make a difference if he gets in front of him, you know, left, right. Makes no difference. He's winning this fight on clean punching, effective aggressiveness. He's just walking forward and whacking Pernell Whitaker with those straight rights and the good left jabs.
A looping left across the top, and Esteves rules that a slip.
That could have been called a knockdown because Trinidad was off balance and was hit a clean shot in the body.
I'm sure Pernell thought it was a knockdown.
Trinidad at this point does not want to give Pernell Whitaker any confidence. You don't want to get him confident. Got up as though nothing happened. Starts stalking his opponent some more, Trinidad is.
And Whitaker beginning round 7 with what amounts to a rally for him. Ducking and slipping a couple of Trinidad's punches and landing a power shot of his own. Whitaker, for the moment, has succeeded in taking the large Trinidad rooting section out of the fight. Now they try to come back with a chant of Tito, Tito, Tito. Hard left hand for Whitaker, making Trinidad miss and making him pay. Right hand to the body landed. Trinidad is a little wobbly. I think the body shot really hurt him, George.
The body shot hurt, but at the same time, this boy is dangerous when he's hurt. Not a good body shot.
And Trinidad crouching over to try to protect his body from Whitaker's assault.
Whitaker has him coming forward. That's what you want a partner to do, is follow you around so that you can land shot as he's picking his feet up.
Another left shot for Whitaker. And the right lands inside. A rousing rally in round 7 for Sweet Pea.
You know that when you have the height advantage, you never want to get down low with your opponent. And that's Trinidad. Whenever he gets a little lower, Whitaker pays off.
They trade, and Trinidad straight right backs Whitaker up.
You want to make sure you maintain your height.
Trinidad pausing to wave the right fist at his supporters in the crowd, and Whitaker tries to rally again at the end of his biggest round.
Hey, Frown, coming up. Hey, yo, if you give me the rest of them rounds like that, you got this thing, dog.
You're winning by points. You're winning by points. He has no chance of hurting you. Keep that jab and don't stop that jab. You're listening to me? Forget the public. You fight. You do your own fight. You see, this guy's going to go down anytime now. Go for it.
Take a look and see if it was a knockdown. Not really. Later on, clean shots from Whitaker that probably won the round for him, gave him hope of coming on as this fight goes on. But whatever happens, you're seeing the championship heart of a once great prize fighter.
And he almost certainly got a point back on the scorecards, but if the date with the canvas early in the round had been ruled a knockdown, then Pete would have gotten 2 points back. Trinidad going back to the right-hand lead, and once again, he stuffs Whitaker with it.
You notice that some of the shots thrown earlier, Whitaker was able to land an uppercut on a taller opponent. Trinidad's best advantage is to stay tall. Don't get low for any shots.
And at some point, given the fact that his corner is telling him he's ahead on the scorecards, you wonder if Trinidad will stop trying to knock Pernell out and box with him using his reach to control the fight.
He has no other means. That's all he knows is a knockout.
Both fighters have been on the canvas more than once, but there's been only one knockdown in the bout.
Let's go.
The knockdown came in round 2 when Trinidad deposited Whitaker on the seat of his pants with a straight right hand.
Trinidad, as though he's inviting Sweet Pea to throw these shots in.
Brilliant uppercut. Pernell wobbled again. Trinidad steps in to try to finish the man. And the uppercut lands again. Whitaker getting his legs back and fires the left hand. Trinidad going all right hands now. 4 more straight right hands and he might knock the man out. Pernell ducking and holding and using his skills to stay alive.
I agree. No punching, no punching.
Trinidad is thinking, he's hitting me all right, but that doesn't hurt me. Whitaker can feel that he's not hurting.
Did you ever think you'd see Pernell Whitaker fighting as though the best defense is a good offense?
He's in against something that only comes along every now and then, these Trinidad-type fighters.
Whitaker trying to match Trinidad uppercut for uppercut. Trinidad backing Pernell up again with straight right-hand power shots. So it was a big rally for Whitaker in round 7 and a big rally for Trinidad in round 8, and another lethal uppercut snaps Whitaker's head back.
No.
And Whitaker almost goes to the wrong corner at the end of the round.
Relax, Tito. Tito, he's ready to go. You know what's going on? Don't throw so many hooks.
That buckle is loose in that corner. The corner
Throw the
peg.
straight punches, man. Huh?
You can hurt. You hurt this guy before. Come on, Pete. You can do it.
Stand up too tall. Too low. Throw the double jab and step. Throw the double jab and a straight left hand right down the fight.
There is a half hook, half uppercut that dazed Whitaker momentarily. And later in the round, Trinidad puts an exclamation point on it. This is a better fight than the one we saw last week.
In that round, Trinidad landed 25 of 44 power shots. Let's see if he has softened Whitaker up for a possible finish, or if there's another big rally left in the 35-year-old Hall of Fame fighter.
You know what? Trinidad's corner told him to stay away from so many left hooks. And he went right off and doubling up on straight right hands. And that corner evidently knows exactly what they're telling him.
And Hector Garcia, our Spanish interpreter, just informed us that Felix Trinidad's father told him between rounds, "You're ahead by 5 points. Don't do anything foolish."
I think he'd be doing something foolish if he tried to coast in.
Well, I think George made the point. He only knows one way to fight.
Well, which is the best way. You set to make the fight yourself. Don't back up. You've been training. You train the way you fight anyway. Keep going.
But also, let's remember the purpose in this fight. To make his case for a fight with De La Hoya, to try to be impressive, to achieve some parity. And he is certainly handling Whitaker better than De La Hoya did, although let's remember this is a 2-year older Whitaker than De La Hoya faced.
Well, that's exactly the point. There'll be a lot of material here for the De La Hoya skeptics who will say that Trinidad created considerably more combustion against Pernell than Oscar was able to do, but how does this Pernell compare to the Pernell of April 7, 1997, or April 12, 1997? I think he's a whole different guy.
I think this Trinidad is something altogether different here. You haven't seen a guy with that many loaded up right hands. Shoots him like a guy with a pistol. And no matter what you do to him, it doesn't discourage him. I think we better get ready to follow Trinidad around for a while. Good body shot by Pernell Whitaker.
Another great body shot. When Pernell has landed to the body, he's turned things in his favor. That's what happened back in round 7. Trinidad missing with the left hook. Whitaker, who's probably taken more big power shots in this fight than in any other fight in his career, gets hit with the right hand again.
These are two thoroughbreds going at it. Boy, can you just imagine what Pernell Whitaker at his age is going through to fight this young stud?
What a great brace of fights back-to-back in the welterweight division to signal the fact that top-flight competition with fighters risking themselves against great opponents is back in boxing.
There's a cut over the right eye of Whitaker.
Whitaker's cut man is the excellent Joe Souza. That's his right hand with the rubber glove on, going to work.
Stay right there, get the stuff from here.
Hey, listen. Both hands right down the pipe, baby.
Okay? Yeah. Now I'm clean.
Come on,
Go ahead.
come on.
Nice and clean.
Hey, yo, both hands right down the pipe. Both hands right down the pipe.
Yeah, I got it.
Like you were working just there. Keep showing him a jab stepping. Keep showing him jab stepping. Then drop the left hand in behind, okay? Hey, look. Them body shots is on money, man. But you got to throw them, though. You know what I'm saying?
Here's some of the body shots. Whitaker can hurt you with a body shot. But as I watch him in the corner during this replay, I don't think I can recall seeing him almost admitting that he's in with a better fighter tonight in his facial mannerism.
You know, another thing, I don't think you've seen Pernell Whitaker or any welterweight in the ring with a fighter like this Trinidad. This boy's like a snake.
And the first 9 rounds have been for men only. Harold Letterman, how did you score him?
Jim, let me tell you, after 9 rounds, I think Pernell Whitaker's out of rounds. He's got to knock him out to win. 88, 82, 7 rounds to 2. A big 6-point lead for Felix Tito Trinidad. Jim, effective aggressiveness, clean punching. That's the story of the fight. That's all you got to know. I mean, we score on 4 points, the other points being, defense. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about ring generalship. It's just that aggressiveness of Tito Trinidad coming forward, and the clean right hands and the clean left hooks. He's walking right through them.
I was Whitaker corner. I tell him, look, show the world you're the best boxer around. You got nothing to prove. Things can happen when you start boxing good. Even a punch, you may land something to knock him down.
George, you don't get to be as good as Pernell Whitaker without trying to win the fight.
Yeah, but I meant he's not winning trying to be flat-footed, trading shots with this big boy.
But he doesn't have enough time to win the fight the other way.
Yeah, but if you start boxing, other things open up for you.
He's going to have to get to the body. That's what works for him. He's going to have to find a way to Tito Trinidad's ribcage, and unfortunately, getting there means going through a hail of Trinidad artillery. Right hand for Whitaker. Momentarily loses his balance. It's been a slippage fight.
Good right, left hand by Whitaker this time. Like I said, make this big puncher follow you. Every time he comes forward, you have to lift up 1 foot at a time. Catch him as he lift him up.
Straight left hand for Trinidad. Drives Whitaker into the ropes. Left hand to the body by Trinidad. Whitaker parrying with his jab and trying to pound with the left hand. Whitaker cornered now, sits down on his butt. Estevez won't thrill it a knockdown.
Seems like all of the snap is going out of Whitaker's shots now.
when you're not getting it done upstairs and you've done damage to the rib cage, that's the time to remember to go back to the body. Pernell Whitaker in this round didn't throw a single effective body shot.
With calm. Keep those hands up. We're doing great. You're winning this fight. You win it. Don't take any risk. And now keep them at a mid-distance because we're ahead. Don't let him hit you. Are you listening to me?
You gotta go get him, baby. You gotta go get him. Everything you got. Everything you got. You gotta go get him now. All right? Make it a dog fight now, Cat. 2 rounds. You got 2 rounds to make it a dog fight.
This replay will show you that Whitaker indeed, in order to get away from that roundhouse right hand, sat down on his own. You heard in Whitaker's corner, it's a dog fight. You got to go out and get him.
But in round 10, Felix Trinidad picking his shots, landed 23 of 34 punches. He's going to wind up the fight landing more than half his punches against a guy who throughout his career has been invisible to most of his opponents.
Trinidad's corner has told him to coast. That's not smart. You don't want to slow the train down here.
And Whitaker now remembers to go back to the body, pounding hard there twice with the left hand.
Got to tell Trinidad to keep doing what you're doing. Don't try to coast in for a decision.
You could have done pretty well in the sports books in Vegas, betting that both De La Hoya Quartey and Whitaker Trinidad would go the distance. But right now, it appears entirely likely.
Trinidad is keeping his distance real good. His jabs, right hand, but he doesn't move in. He keeps his balance.
Hard left hand for Whitaker, momentarily backs Trinidad up. And add to all of the other Trinidad assets, a chin which has gotten better as this fight has gone on. Still no penalty for low blows.
The referee's been watching these low blows by each guy round after round, so he's not going to get in there now. It wasn't that low.
Whitaker's able to land 1-2s in this round. Right jab left across the top.
Trinidad's corner made a mistake. They told him to coast. You slow down the train, and it just doesn't have the power there.
Yeah, but if he can avoid a knockdown, George, or a knockout, he's won the fight. So he can give up these rounds as one-point rounds.
Because even if Pernell wins this round, it's hard to find a round other than the first and the 7th that he might have won.
You just want to keep this locomotive going. Keep him throwing.
But the other issue here, guys, is Trinidad has to look good. He wants to make his case for De La Hoya. I think he's already made it. Maybe he could even make it more dramatically and convincingly. That was not a low blow. That was right on the border.
Whitaker doing his best to make Esteves believe it was a low blow.
Esteves was correct.
Trinidad just missed with a home run swing with the right hand.
I think that Trinidad should finish this fight trying to get a knockout. Forget about this point coasting. Forget about any other fighters. Get out there and get yourself a knockout.
Quick little right hand counter inside by Whitaker. Snapped Trinidad on the chin, but they'll go to the 12th.
This is it. We're winning a wide margin. Breathe in, breathe in. We're winning this fight.
Hey, baby. This is your career, man.
I got it.
You got to go get it.
You did it before, baby. You did it before. You can do it again. You can do it again. Come on, baby.
Don't hit him back. Just keep your hands up and relax. Are you listening to me? This is the last round. Just get ready. I don't want you to get hit. Hands up.
One final tribute to the brave warrior Pernell Whitaker. In round 11, he threw 81 punches, doing everything within his power to try to reverse the seemingly irreversible momentum of this fight. But Whitaker loves to say, victimized by close controversial decisions against Jose Luis Ramirez and Oscar De La Hoya, that he's never lost a professional prize fight. It's hard to imagine him winning this one by anything short of a dramatic, career-changing knockout.
Sometimes you're in a fight like that and you got to say to yourself, what do I go home for? Do I go home without any more scars? For what reason? Do I take a chance? For good reason. That's what you got to do. Take a chance, Whitaker.
Hard left hook by Trinidad. Whitaker steps back and fires his own left. Pernell. Range finding with the right jab, trying to find a way to land one more big left hand. Straight right hand has been such a powerful piece of weaponry for Trinidad all night long. It's been a fast-paced fight most of the way. You could understand both fighters being a little tired in the 12th. But if Pernell Whitaker is going to score a dramatic knockout, it's hard to imagine him doing it any other way than to launch a vicious, sustained assault to the body of Felix Trinidad. On the few occasions in the fight when he's hurt Trinidad, he seemingly did so by hurting him to the body. He's looking upstairs here, and he's not getting much reward for his efforts.
It seems that Trinidad is all about 100%, nothing else. When he slacks up 1 inch, just doesn't have it.
So we're narrowing it down in the welterweight division. Quartey tried against De La Hoya. De La Hoya was more man in the 12th. Whitaker's trying to produce one last stand against Trinidad, but it looks like all Trinidad. Somewhere down the road, a reckoning for the two young welterweight stars, or so we most fervently hope.
There is no doubt that Trinidad has made his case by looking better against Whitaker than De La Hoya did. He is a more natural boxer and two-handed puncher, which does not mean he would beat De La Hoya in a fight between them.
Pernell Whitaker showing his bravery in a rough physical fight, but taking the toughest pounding of his career. And as Whitaker sits down again to avoid Trinidad's punches, the crowd calls for a knockout. Esteves pulls them apart. 10 more seconds to go. The two big welterweight dramas in the desert and in the garden both go the distance.
I had Trinidad winning 9 rounds to 3. Thought he looked terrific. He is an outstanding fighter.
CompuBox numbers give Whitaker credit for landing only 6 punches in the 12th round, as mostly he swung away with the left hand, hoping to land something big. He never went about the systematic body assault that I felt would have been his only chance. Highlights of the bout, we told you about Felix Trinidad's penchant for revenge. When he's been knocked down in the past, he's always gotten up to knock out the perpetrator. Well, in this fight, Pernell Whitaker won the first round, or at least appeared to, and so therefore, Trinidad came out in round 2 and established the tempo for the bout by punching Pernell Whitaker to the canvas with a straight right hand. And from there, Trinidad stayed in control until Whitaker came out and mounted a big rally, mostly with body punches, to win round 7. So immediately after that, in round 8, Trinidad came back with that big uppercut, the left hook and straight right hand there, and generally batted Whitaker around the ring throughout the 8th round.
Pernell Whitaker is a guy who's made every fighter he's ever faced look bad. I mean, he's a guy who could make Michelle Pfeiffer look bad. He couldn't make Felix Trinidad looked bad.
Indeed. Harold Letterman, what about your final scorecard?
117, 110, 9 rounds to 3. Felix Trinidad, an absolute no-brainer, Jim. Just walked right through him, scored with the right hand, scored with the left hooks. It was very easy for Felix Trinidad. Effective aggressiveness once again, and clean punching were the 2 key points.
And remember, 1 judge from Pernell Whitaker's home state of Virginia, 1 from Puerto Rico, 1 from New York. Newlywed Michael Buffer got married last Thursday and has our congratulations. Here he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Madison Square Garden, we go to the Budweiser scorecards. Melvina Lathan scores the bout 118 to 109. That's the same score from Biba Exton, 118 to 109. Samuel Conde Lopez scores the bout 117 to 110 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still IBF welterweight champion of the world, Felix Tito Trinidad.
Honest scoring, creditable judging.
And a round of applause,
Trinidad
please,
with a big victory in a fight much more entertaining than some of us might have suspected. A rousing performance by the Puerto Rican star as he establishes himself as De La Hoya's foil in the welterweight division. Final punch stat numbers, and you can see that Whitaker threw a lot more. Trinidad picking his spots all the way through, landing at an astonishing 54% rate against a fighter against whom in the past, if you landed 30%, you were doing well. And look at the power punch numbers. 54% of the power punches landed for Trinidad as well. So Felix Trinidad moves to 34-0 with 29 knockouts and looks down the road toward bigger things. Larry Merchant is with him now.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Tito.
Felicidades, Tito.
Were you surprised that Whitaker was willing to engage you toe-to-toe through much of this fight?
¿Estabas sorprendido que Whitaker te peleó de esta manera, de pie a pie, por toda la duración de la pelea?
No fue sorpresa porque yo sé que Whitaker no es un boxeador que corre.
No, it wasn't a surprise because I know Whitaker is a boxer that runs around.
What was in your mind going into this fight? Did you want to show that you could beat him more decisively than De La Hoya did in order to make your case for a fight against Oscar De La Hoya?
¿Qué estaba pasando por tu mente cuando tú viniste a pelear con Whitaker? ¿Tú pensabas que querías darle una pelea más dura de la que Oscar De La Hoya le dio para tú ser el más adelante?
No, yo vine a hacer mi pelea y yo sabía que yo venía a ganar. Eso es lo único que yo sabía.
I came to do my fight and I knew I was going to win.
You had a great deal of trouble making the 147-pound welterweight limit. Do you think you can keep fighting at welterweight, or do you have to move up to junior middleweight?
Parece que tuviste un poco de problema para alcanzar 140 o quedarte 147 libras para esta pelea. ¿Piensas quedarte en esa división?
Soy el mejor welter del mundo y yo no tuve ningún problema, ningún día de mi entrenamiento no tuve ningún problema y soy el mejor peso welter del mundo.
I am the best welter in the world. I had no problems making this weight, and I'm the best there is in this division.
Will you fight De La Hoya at welterweight if necessary, or if he moves up to junior middleweight, will you follow him into that division?
¿Tú te gustaría pelear con Oscar De La Hoya en los 147 o te gustaría subir al próximo junior welter?
Bueno, perdón, ambos somos campeones welterweight y aquí que se hace la pelea.
We're both champions in the same way. The fight's got to be done this way.
Thank you very much. Congratulations again.
All right, thanks a lot, Larry. We're going to try to get a word with Pernell Whitaker, certainly off his great career. He's appeared more on HBO than any other fighter. He deserves the last word here. George, Oscar De La Hoya went out and slugged away with Chavez, slugged away against Quartey. Logic tells you he probably shouldn't try it against this guy. What would a De La Hoya Trinidad fight look like?
It would look great. You're talking about 2 champions. One is an apple, the other an orange. Both are delicious. I'm telling you, it would be a great fight. Will we see such a fight? I don't know.
Well, there's a scenario by which it happens as early as September. Most people feel it's more likely that it waits until next year, but I don't think we're going to have to go without that fight. I think we will see at some point Oscar De La Hoya and Felix Trinidad in the ring. Meanwhile, Larry Merchant's in the ring with Pernell Whitaker. Let's see that.
All right, just one moment, fellas, because Whitaker is wandering around here congratulating Tito. Pernell, you said with some pride and justification before this fight that you felt you really never lost a fight. Do you feel that finally you met a younger, stronger fighter who did defeat you?
No, I know I haven't. You know, and like I say, the public is going to judge. You know, that's why we have these great fans, you know, who are not who get to see it on view. They can score the fight for themselves. And the fans title I fight for. I represent the fans. You know, it was a good fight. I never took anything away from the kid. You know, and if, you know, it was close. If he got the decision, you know, I'm not gonna whine or anything about it. I'm not gonna say I lost.
That's your championship pride
like
talking, and we understand that.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
No.
No, that has nothing to do with it. You guys have been waiting to see Pernell Whitaker lose for 18 years, and he still hasn't lost. The fight was close.
All right, Pernell, why did you feel you had to stand and go with him?
I didn't. I boxed the way I boxed for 27 years. You know, you guys look for excuses against me. Don't give me no excuses, you know.
All right, then let's go. You fought Oscar De La Hoya. You fought.
I fought everybody.
You fought everybody, and you fought young Trinidad today. Give us your view of both fighters.
Give me some credit.
We gave you lots of credit.
I fought everybody. But give me some now. I never turned away from anybody.
You didn't.
Who do you think the best fighter in the world is? Like? I don't put you on the spot. The world wants to know.
The world doesn't care what I think right now. They want to know what you think. You fought De La Hoya. You fought Trinidad. Compare the two for us.
Oh, he's much better than De La Hoya. You know, he's a good fighter. You know, and I fight only the best. You know, so I want to thank all the viewers of HBO for tuning in. You know, and
from the way you're talking, you're going to continue to fight. Is that right?
Until somebody beats me.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Pernell. I'll just close with this final word. Once upon a time, it seemed that Pernell Whitaker could stand in a very narrow alley and be a matador against an onrushing truck, somehow pop out its lights and slash its tires. Tonight, the truck won. Jim?
Well said, Larry. And George, we've waited a long time for what happened last week, for what happened again tonight. Your comments on what these last 2 weeks have meant to the sport.
Well, it shows us for a fact the unexpected can always happen on HBO. I've never seen this many great fights in my life, and I've been around for almost 38 years.
Hey, guess what? There's another great one coming up, George, in addition to what's coming up in the next couple of weeks here. On March 13, we'll be in Madison Square Garden live on pay-per-view for Evander Holyfield versus Lennox Lewis. Earlier this evening, I spoke to the two combatants in that heavyweight unification bout. Joining us now from their respective training camps as they get ready for their date with Destiny March 13, Evander Holyfield from Atlanta on the left, Lennox Lewis from the Poconos in Pennsylvania on the right. Evander, I'll begin with you. Money talks in boxing, and because of that, a lot of people might have suspected this fight would take place in a gambling casino. Instead, what might be the last mega fight of your career will be held in the Mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I just think that New York itself is a great place to have a fight, and it really didn't make a big difference what facility I fought in. But since a legendary place, which New York is, make it even greater.
Lennox, your thoughts about coming back to the arena where you last appeared, scraping out a very tough decision against Ray Mercer 3 years ago?
Well, I think it's great that the fight's going to be in New York, the Mecca. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I know it's a great arena to make history, so I'm real happy about that.
How important is the Mercer fight in having demonstrated to you that you could go in against a big, physically strong opponent on a night when you weren't fighting your best and find a way to win?
I think the Mercer fight was a great fight for me because it definitely prepared me for the ensuing fight with Evander Holyfield. And, you know, I think the fight with Ray Mercer, again, was a good lead up to this fight.
But Evander, at about that same time, you got an easier win over Mercer, and you were the first man to knock him down. Does the comparison tell us that you should be the favorite against Lennox in this fight?
Well, you know, opponents just go style make fight, and I'm not looking to what I did against Ray Mercer and comparing it to Lennox. They two different fighters. Lennox got a totally different style, and I have to come in and be open-minded and just have to come with a style that would benefit me in fighting him.
So let's try another comparison. A lot of experts would say that the opponent who gave you the most trouble, Evander, was Riddick Bowe. He got victories in 2 of 3 fights against you. He was the one guy who presented a physical picture in there similar to Lennox in terms of his dimensions. So, was Bowe better than Lennox, or do you have to be better than you were in 2 of those 3 fights to beat him?
Well, you know, when I fought Bowe, I was a lot younger. I've grown a lot more. You know, I was a good fighter then, but I'm an even better fighter now. And I never fought Lennox, and this would something be different for both of us. But I tell you, I got the solution to the problem.
Well, we'll see what that solution's going to be. Lennox, you might outweigh Evander by 20 pounds or more on the night of the fight. Given what happened in the Bowe fights, should your size be your critical advantage against Holyfield?
I think my size is definitely going to be an advantage. Evander Holyfield's never seen nothing like Lennox Lewis, so he's in for a shock. Definitely, I'm going to surprise him in there. And you know, with my punches comes a lot of weight. So it's up to Evander whether he can withstand that. I know he's a boxer that shows true grit, so his true grit's going to have to really bring him out of this fight.
Gentlemen, thank you both very much for your time and your comments. We'll look forward to seeing you both live March 13, pay-per-view from Madison Square Garden in New York. Holyfield versus Lewis. We'll have a final word on boxing in just a moment. Right now, let's look ahead to some upcoming programs on HBO.
In the history of organized crime, Bugsy Siegel and Lucky Luciano were legends, but the mastermind was Meyer Lansky.
This man is the linchpin of organized crime.
While others made headlines, Lansky built an empire.
Think you're safe? You're not safe. Nobody is safe.
From critically acclaimed writer David Mamet and director John McNaughton, Richard Dreyfuss is Lansky. Premieres Saturday, February 27th on HBO.
From HBO Sports, 2 great boxing shows on one great night. First, Holyfield versus Lewis. Take an in-depth look at the strategy, the history, the men, and their destiny before the showdown for the unified heavyweight championship of the world.
This is my opportunity to shock the world. I will do what's necessary to win, and I will win.
Get the blow-by-blow before the ultimate battle. Countdown to Holyfield Lewis, followed by Boxing After Dark Live as 2 champions operating in the shadows step into the limelight. Cesar Bazan defends his lightweight belt in a rematch with former champ Stevie Johnston. The victor earns a shot at Sugar Shane Mosley. Plus, light heavyweight champ Reggie Johnson takes on #1 contender Will Taylor. The winner gets in line to battle Roy Jones Jr. Countdown to Holyfield Lewis and HBO Boxing After Dark. It all happens Saturday, February 27th on HBO.
On March 6th, watch for David Reed against the 154-pound champ Laurent Boudouani. Gold medalist Reed attempting to win his first world title in just his 12th professional fight. Also that night, seemingly indestructible Lou Savarese takes on Lance Mount Whitaker. And this Monday, check out the latest Real Sports with Brian Gumbel. Among the stories, an investigation into the Olympic scandal, which has rocked the whole sporting world, and a profile of Kentucky College basketball coach Tubby Smith. Well, 1 week ago, Oscar De La Hoya stated his case for supremacy in the welterweight division. Tonight, it was Felix Trinidad's turn. And though Pernell Whitaker stubbornly went the distance against Trinidad, Trinidad wound up winning an easy unanimous decision in a fight which was largely target practice for the power puncher. He didn't get the knockout he's so accustomed to, but he got the win. Coming up immediately following our show, stay tuned for the premiere of Real Sex 22 on the East Coast and the premiere of The Replacement Killers on the West Coast. And now for the entire HBO gang, I'm Jim Lampley saying so long from Madison Square Garden. The executive producer of HBO Sports is Ross Greenberg. Tonight's Trinidad versus Whitaker fight was produced by Dave Harmon. The De La Hoya Quartey fight was produced by Rick Bernstein, both directed by Mark Payton. Feature producers John Crystal and Thomas Erdelfelt. Tonight's associate producers Brian McDonald and Max Siegel. Assistants to the producer Matt Boland and Rodney Burford. The production manager was Mark Hayden. The technical supervisor Bob Hunter. And the technical director Doug Getz.
This has been a presentation of HBO Sports, the network of champions.
Throughout the streets of France, he rules with an iron fist, and his crown has remained secure until now. Olympic gold medal sensation David Reed, in his first shot at a title, plots to overthrow the reigning super welterweight champion from France, Laurent Bourdouani. Plus, heavyweight hitter Lou Savarese launches an all-out assault against undefeated giant Mount Whitaker. It all happens live Saturday, March 6th, only on HBO.